Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 4,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 110 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they're kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rule. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
You got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm your host, James Boyd. With me, I have Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just watched a bunch of stuff, listened to a bunch of music, and trying to stay black and not die out here. So
yeah. I think you can do one very well. The other ones can be hard at times. So I'm assuming that you listened to a bunch of music recently in preparation for this project I asked you to take upon your debut, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So, was it Wednesday? Was it last Wednesday?
I think so. It was one of the days.
Last Wednesday, Billie Eilish got herself put on Twitter for like a whole day because I guess it was quotes from Vogue, where she basically trying to make a point, a point that's been like. This is not some Maverick Marvel idea. This is something that's been talked about for like literally decades in rap, about people lying in their raps and whatnot, and it's brought to attention.
Literally, pull up Rapper's Delight.
Yeah. So I thought it was just like people got really upset about it, and for me, just like this is a young person that thought she was really making really thought she had an idea that wasn't something that's like well traversed territory. So I just took it as like she just thought she had some maverick idea that like, and she hasn't been around long enough on this earth to realize that like people have been talking about this since before she's even born, and it is what it is.
I really don't give a fuck to hear that from her. Like,
yeah, that's another one. People got really upset with her because it's like your aesthetics, some of your music pulls from rap music, and then you want to shit on it, and then it's like then you throw in like the long history of pop acts taking stuff from rap and using it to further their careers and for their benefit, and not like putting in what they took out. So I didn't want to get into the seriousness of that, but I wanted to talk about like the fun part of that, which is like, what are some of your favorite lies in the history of rap music? So me and Rich have talked about this, and we said like, come up with some of your 5 favorite lies. You could have went a little longer, but it would. I think the thing is, you go through so much music that you want to find like perfect lies, not like you sold so much cocaine. It's like, nah, you want one that's like, nah, we're not even going to have a dispute about whether that's embellishment. We're just going to be like, that's absurd, sir. That's ridiculous. So, Richard, you'd like to go first?
Sure. Every single Tekashi 6ix9ine song in existence. Let's start there.
Okay, sure.
I don't have any lyrics prepared, but as you can see, with this young man and everything he's done since, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was all cap.
Oh man. Okay, so for me, I'm gonna start with something real light. Drake on Life is Good from recently. This man said, I ain't did my taxes. I'm too turned up. Oh, yeah? You ain't did your taxes? you ain't did your taxes. Yet you're in this country. Look, man, I can tell you this right now. You will not be in this country as a minority if you are not paying your taxes, sir. I can guarantee you that. So, Rich, you can go ahead.
Okay. My next one comes from The Game. The rapper The Game, of course, from the West Coast. He said, I woke up out the coma 2001, about the same time Dre dropped 2001. That album came out in 1999.
Yes.
What are you saying?
Oh, boy. And it made me think of the 150 Cent diss record. He says, remember when you said you woke up out the coma 2001? Well, your brother says you were never in a coma. Oh, okay.
Your brother says you were never in a gang.
Right. Oh my God. Like 50 is one of the all-time promos and he's never wrestled.
Yes.
Like T.I.'s like that too. He's like, dude, who has better promos than 50 Cent or T.I. at the end of records? No one. Not even Flair. Okay, so
Jim Jones underrated as well. They used to throw him on at the end, talking about he'll smack the kufi off Nas's head.
Yeah, that's a good one. Underrated for his day. Okay, number 4 for me, Jay-Z, Nigga Please. I've been around the world. I damn near beat Jordan in around the world, nigga. You expect me to believe
you beat Michael Jeffrey Jordan?
You, Sean Corey Carter, beat Michael Jeffrey, or almost beat Michael Jeffrey Jordan in a game of shooting. I don't give. Look, was this the '80s when he couldn't hit the side of a barn, or was this?
Look, what was Michael Jordan blindfolded during this, shooting game?
First off, know what we know about Michael Jordan. He don't give a good goddamn about you, rapper guy in 2002. I don't give a damn if you were damn near the greatest rapper of all time at that point in time. What do you want? Tickets? What do you want from me?
Look, was Michael Jordan shooting with a football? Is that how you beat him? Or nearly beat him?
Another one. Does New York product Sean Corey Carter seem like somebody that has a jump shot? Have you ever seen anybody from New York City with a jumper ever in life?
What's up to Brooklyn Ike? I know he's probably laughing right now.
Look, no disrespect, but y'all always talk about how none of y'all got jumpers because y'all out there in that shitty weather trying to play in hoop. So we got this one lone guy that has his jumper, but he never made it to the league, huh? He decided to sell dope and rap instead, right?
Never tried. Hidden talent.
Okay.
Who knew?
Yeah.
My next one. On the Games album, on the song called... Yeah, well, no, not the game.
Oh, okay.
So on the Games album, the documentary has a song called Higher. And then Dr. Dre randomly pops on the song at the end of one of the verses, and he says 4 words: "Watch out for Detox."
We're watching, bitch.
We are still watching.
Yeah. Was year 15 now?
Oh, yeah, you know, y'all love it. Y'all ever see Detox? Let me know.
When did Straight Outta Compton come out? Compton came out, 2016, right?
2015.
He's dropped the album since then. We're never getting Detox. Ever. Also, shout out to Drake. Like, dude, I think that might be one of the best mixed albums I've ever heard in this era. That Compton album, Jesus Christ, what incredible. Them dudes did that. And look, it couldn't have just been them headphones either. Okay, so number 3 for me, Rick Ross, Hustlin'. Now, Rick Ross is one of the all-time cappers, and I really could have picked anything off of Port of Miami, and I especially could have picked pretty much any lyric off of off the first verse of Hustlin'. But for this man to get on this mic and say, I know Noriega, the real Noriega, he owes me 100 favors. Look here, Officer Ricky. Look at here.
No, sir.
No. Nope.
I don't know how it slid. Nobody blinked twice, James.
Rick Ross is one of the all-time workers, and by saying he's a worker, the fact that his gimmick was another famous coke dealers.
Unbelievable.
And he took it. And this dude faked it all the way to the top. This dude, I don't think he ever had a top 10 Billboard single. And this man became one of the heavy hitters in hip-hop. A first ballot rap Hall of Famer. While also having a former career in the past of being a correctional officer. Right. I don't know, how do you fake it that much to the top? I really don't. It was mind-boggling when it was happening in the mid-2000s. It was mind-boggling when it happened in the 2010s when he dropped Teflon Don, a classic, while lying through his teeth left and right to everyone.
Became a legend in some circles.
Yes! Unbelievable. Congratulations.
Who knew?
And I feel weird about it. Like, congratulations, you fucking liar. Go ahead, Rich.
My next one comes from Lloyd Banks of G Unit, one of my favorite rappers. One time, Lloyd Banks in a freestyle, I believe it was on a Snoop Dogg beat. Lloyd Banks said, "Banks got a gun that'll back down the Navy."
What?
Those of y'all that know. How absurd. If Lloyd Banks had a gun that would back down the Navy, I'm pretty sure he would have to use it because they'd be coming to get it from him.
Yes. Yeah, like, I don't know if he understands how the U.S. government and the Navy operates, but, like, they are definitely bomb first types, right? So, look, they be bombing on people that try to accumulate something that can back down the Navy. Like, oh, no.
Yes, it's on a freestyle. It's an old Snoop Dogg song. I just remember it.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, that's number 2, right?
Yep, that was my number 2.
Okay, number 2 is a song in lyrics that are so vile that I cannot repeat. I am only going to give you the name of the artist, and because it's a group, and then I'm going to give you the name of the song, and I will allude to certain things, but I'm not going to repeat what was the actual lyrics. You're going to have to go to the Rap Genius or whatever else yourself. The first time I ever heard UGK, I think, was 96. Right? That was when Ryan Dirty came out, if I remember correctly. Maybe 95, I can't remember. But before Riding Dirty, they had an extensive career. Obviously, everyone knows Pocket Full of Stones, or in front, back, side to side. But there was also a song from, I believe, 1988.
Oh my God, he's about to do it.
Called Pregnant Pussy. I had never heard of this song until like 2011, 2012. There is a hook on that song that is vile and wretched and anatomically impossible. Feel free to Google it. Tweet at me. We can discuss, but I'm not going to discuss it. The rest of it here. That's for the rest of y'all to listen to.
Can't do it.
Yes, it is just unbelievable.
Can't do it.
Unbelievable.
Can't do it. So, for my number one...
Can you believe that they were making something like that in 88 and then, like Bun B is like one of the great rap ambassadors of this era?
Yes, a grandfatherly figure of rap at this point.
That's like I always like affectionately called him Uncle Chad or Uncle Bun. Like, nah, bro. Like, that song's like, what was y'all doing? What was y'all thinking?
What made you use that line?
Yes,
that flex.
Why would you? Yes. So go ahead, Rich. You're number 1.
So my number 1 lie. I'm the realest nigga in it. You already know. Got Trap of the Year 4 times in a row from Young Jeezy. 1. Where are the trophies? 2. What award show or organization was giving this award out?
I'm assuming it's like the same Chicago like organization that was giving out Playhead of the Year in the Chappelle Show skits.
See, who else was in the nominations for Trapper of the Year? Who has this documented besides Jeezy?
I mean, I guess dudes like Goldmouth and Big Meech and, you know, them BMF dudes who was behind bars.
Why haven't we continued to know who Trapper of the Year was after this and who Trapper of the Year was before this? Is it like the Heisman ceremony where like the 1981 Trapper of the Year shows up and all the previous winners have votes? Like, is that how this works, James?
So are you asking, is there also regional voting?
Correct. Are there biased, you know... Is a degree of difficulty? It's more difficult to do it in one region of the country.
Yeah,
how does it work?
Is there an East Coast bias for Trapper of the Year? Oh,
yeah,
I love this.
Like what is this?
Oh my gosh! Oh, this is great.
Yes.
Don't you just love when you be like, "Hey man, how does this shit work out logistically?" I'm trying to figure this out, bro. Run this, help me figure this out for you.
Yeah,
for me, really. Okay. Oh man,
that was it.
Okay. Okay, so number one for me, this is such a tremendous lie that me and Rich wanted to make sure, or I wanted to make sure that we didn't have the same outrageous lie on here. So I start saying, is Artist X on your list? Artist X on your list. And we came across this one and he said yes. Then we said, which song is it? It's the same song. So I was like, I know what song you're coming up with. I know exactly what lines you're using. You cannot use this one, Rich. This is mine. The reason why I even came up with this idea was specifically because of these lyrics. Okay, so you have Birdman from either 2000 or 2001 had a song called Number One Stunner. This song is so outrageous that the second verse, at the end of the second verse, he says, I like to... I can't even get out straight. It's as ridiculously disgusting as the lyrics of Praying to Pussy by UGK. He breaks out, I like to fuck him in the ass while Wayne beats up the pussy. Okay, first off, it is 2001 or 2000, period. How old... Wayne was born in 82?
Yeah, Lil Wayne was... I don't know if he was 18 yet. Maybe.
He was doing... So, he is saying that he was doing DPs with groupies when Wayne had just turned 18.
And how long had the Hot Boys been out and all that before that?
Ooh. Uncomfortable.
Move forward.
Yes. Look, if it's consensual, I guess. However, that is
move the game forward.
Very, very strange. But let's move it on. We're gonna get to the actual lie, not just the very disturbing truth he told on himself that could have landed him in prison potentially. Anyway, this man at the end of the song just goes into full out. He blacks out. He says, "Now it's plain and simple, nigga. I ain't met a nigga yet that can fuck with the Cash Money Hot Boys with these cars, nigga. You see that Monte Carlo that's hot and on fire?" Basically, he goes on to say he got that bitch on dubs. He got the new 2000. He got the G-Wagon on dubs. He got that new vehicle with frog eyes and that bitch on dubs. All our cars are on dubs. He says, "Yo, we all drive Bentleys on dubs. I'm trying to put platinum eyebrows on these hoes. I just bought me a platinum football field, nigga. You understand? Don't fuck with me with these cars." Okay. This man said that he has a platinum football field, Rich. How does that work? How? Explain to me.
What type of shoes do you wear on the platinum football field to not mess up the platinum?
I don't know. I don't know.
How big is it? A standard size football field? Is it like a mini size platinum football field? Is it like
University of Miami's indoor practice facility that's 65 yards in length, period?
Yeah.
It's one of them.
Yeah.
Look, niggas go to Miami for Super Bowl. They can't even practice in Miami's football indoor facility because it's too small.
Unbelievable. The platinum football field. Unbelievable.
Like, what he said was so ridiculous that you forget the line he said before that was, he's trying to put platinum eyebrows on these hoes. How does that work either?
They have to go get surgery.
What?
And implant the platinum Unbelievable.
Yeah, man. Like, just outrageous. He's one of the all-time cappers while being stinky, filthy, and rich because he robbed so many dudes out of their money.
Yes. A crook.
Yes.
Unbelievable. So those are some of our favorite lies.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that the end of the show?
I mean, shit. Like,
this is going to end up on the best of. Absolutely. There's not a chance this ain't going on the best of 2020. Not a chance it won't end up on there.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
So this is a wrestling podcast, I guess.
Yeah, this is a wrestling podcast. I guess we got to talk about wrestling. Okay. So, this week, or the past week, because we did, what did we do last year? Or last week we did a 2000
the awards,
the award show. So we missed a lot of stuff, but the number 2 and number 3 in WWE's corporate infrastructure were fired, Barrios and Wilson, and that was a week before we got to the quarterly financial stuff. We're not really going to bore you too much with that stuff. Because one, we don't really care too much about that. We're really caring about like what's on the TV screen. Like the other shit is the other shit, right? And like we only talk about what's happening behind the screen as, it makes changes to what's happening on the screen. So, where do you really want to start? I mean, they're talking about what they're going to do potentially with, all these key, markers of interest, like, house show attendance, gate, viewership. So much these indicators of fan engagement or interaction is down. So
anything that has to do with the fans giving them money is down.
Yeah. So we've known they've been buoyed by their TV contracts for a long time, and it's going to be that way for the next 5 years. But now, because of the shakeup up top in their infrastructure, their stock price went down, and then at the Thursday conference call, Vince seemed to allude that they may potentially be shopping, or not potentially, they are shopping their pay-per-views to different streaming services. We don't know if it's every pay-per-view, if it's some pay-per-views, if it's just WrestleMania, if it's just the big 4, if it's only the top 3. Does that even involve takeovers? We don't know none of that. We just know that they're shopping stuff around to streaming service that he deemed as the majors. So that would be like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Peacock potentially, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and a few other places that would be considered quote unquote majors.
No, this reminds me of it. It reminds me of like the dream of every like small business owner is basically like start a business and then like get bought out by someone huge for a bunch of money. Like,
right.
Remember when 50 Cent had them did all that invested in the vitamin waters and then they got bought by Coca-Cola? Like that's what this shit reminds me of.
Yeah.
Yes. Instagram gets bought by Facebook, shit like that. That looks like what's going to happen with either the WWE network or at least, the pay-per-views, which are the main, draw for the network.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy to see like where the network has ended up, and when it first launched and where it is now, and to see it was a failure. Like, they didn't come close to 3 million. Remember how they had all those crazy numbers like that they said before?
They thought that, they were like, yes, there are, what was it? There are 300 and something million people in America. We believe that 10% of them are wrestling fans. If we can just get, 10% of 10%, that'll be 3 million. And that's how they came up with the number. And then, like, they topped out at, 1.65?
Yeah, 7, something like that.
Yeah.
And it seems like it was crazy the amount of stuff they put on network, like, as far as, like, the pay-per-views, takeovers, NXT, but I don't know, man. I feel like they underachieved a lot with the network, too. They could have done a lot, more cooler things with the network. So, and I think what was really crazy, because I thought I would have a WWE network subscription for life. Like, I canceled my WWE network last September or mid, just a lot of dissatisfaction with the product, and hearing so many times you're still going to give them the money anyway. Eventually I'm just gonna be like, you know what, I'm not. Like, how about that? Like, so, and it seems like a lot of people like, went that way because they've dipped under a million in the US for the first time since like that first year they launched.
Do you know what the number is in thousands?
I want to say it's 996.
Oof. Okay.
Domestic, and then 400,000 worldwide or something like that. But it is it's jarring, and then like you think about the way the network has been trending. Barrows and Wilson is out, who were in charge of like the network, like this was their thing,
right?
And Vince, I think Vince, like if you're talking about how can you make the most money for WWE, you're seeing what the UFC is getting from ESPN Plus, like you got to look at yourself like you're the other side of the coin of UFC, so you have what these people were looking for, like that the thing is like
you do better ratings than them,
and they
like in the last like year and a half, 2 years,
and like what they've built, like it's not dependent on whether the show is good or not. It's like they are a live property, so like they're taking advantage of this fact more than anything else. And I'm not shocked at all. Like when I heard like this is what they can do. Oh, okay, so that's what UFC did. I can see WWE doing something like that because we would all readily admit that there's a lot of money being left on the table. Like you saw AEW last year just start doing $50 pay-per-views and people started buying them. It's like, well, what the fuck? Like, so what do you think WWE like would do if, you would multiply how big it is? Like you would think it'd be like bigger, but it's crazy for the network. I hope the network doesn't go away because like if there's a situation where it's like, all right, all their pay-per-views or whatever, like, and then they redo the structure. We don't know if the tier system is happening now. But I do want the archive, but I don't know. It's kind of that danger of, like we don't own. This is a reminder that we don't own any of this shit. It's like we're just renting this shit, and it just makes me like, wow, man, I still got my huge DVD collection of wrestling DVDs that I own and won't go anywhere. But this stuff is temporary. Like none of this stuff like is guaranteed, and it's changing really fast all the time. So just get ready because like the landscape of wrestling is gonna like just morph so much over the next 2 years, let alone 5 years.
I don't really have much to add to that. I think for me is I remember when the network came and we were kind of like excited but also like, wait, so they're doing this to insulate themselves from, bad creative. Yeah. And also the pressure to try to draw, month to month. And, once you see like, oh yeah, WrestleMania is like free, you're just like, well, never mind that shit. We want to see WrestleMania, right? And then over the years, it's the month to month grind. Like they have no, see, look what they do with us. Like they don't try to book cards in advance. Some of these pay-per-views lately have just been, you'll find almost on the card by Friday, 2 days before the fucking pay-per-view. And
never forget, Hell in a Cell had like 2 or 3 matches announced by the time, and it was like a damn near a PWG mystery show. Like, like Survivor Series like that too. Like you didn't know who were on the men's NXT teams or the women's NXT teams until literally the women's team. You didn't find out until after Takeover, less than 24 hours before the show, and then you didn't find out who the men were until like I think that Sunday afternoon. Yeah, and it's like, why? Like this is clearly a company that has their priorities completely flipped because of the TV money they're making compared and so much more than what they're doing on pay-per-view. And that's before you even get to the part where it's like they don't even book shit in advance for their TV. You think they don't give a fuck about like the shows that are going to make them less money to do? They're just doing it just to placate or to be able to justify the $9.99 they're going to get from people. So yeah, I just Now that they're doing this, is like this is going to go further, or either it's going to kind of flip that back into the right perspective to where like they're actually going to give a shit to try to book these pay-per-views, or it goes a further thing because there's because there might be pressure from their partners, or it could turn into a situation where like they're making
$150 million on some TV deal. They're made in the shade. They don't give a shit even more. So it just further insulates them from, I guess lack of a better word would be like I don't know, economic justice or economic karma. Right? It's like you're putting out a product that people don't like, but while you're doing that, you're getting more money than you ever have before. It's like, okay. Obviously, I'm not a person that believes in karma, but like I believe the fan base believes that, like a lot of the fan base believes, like if they continue to book like this, more people are going to leave in droves, and their dissatisfaction will be the rule of them long term. And it looks to me, and I keep looking over the horizon, and the closer we get to the horizon, I keep saying, nah, it seems like they're idiot proof.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So, you want to continue with more main roster talk?
Let's blow through this shit.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, we're not done with that. So another part about the pay-per-view rights being shopped, we've now found out that like the mystery number for NXT for what they make a year, they're making $30 million.
So where did you see that? Because was it blended in with like the rest of the TV money?
It was on Observer Radio last night.
Gotcha.
And yeah, Meltzer was like, it's 30. Remember, like originally he reported 30. So, but he made it sound, but the way he said it, it was like, nah, like we figured out where they put that money in. And once you like, because people originally thought like Brandon Thurston and WrestleNomics thought they were going to put the money in some place other than where they put the TV deal money, but they put in TV deal money and they just used, and then I guess from there Meltzer, did some figuring and then came up with like, oh yeah, it's 30. So that's not much of a story. It's like, I mean, I know it sounds funny, but did anybody really think that they like really legitimately believe that they were making $0 from TNT to fill a time slot in prime time on a Wednesday
or USA?
USA is what I meant. Yes, like
the only thing that I can think is because like they're taking such a bath on the ratings compared to what they did on Tuesdays. That's the only like thing I could think of.
I guess, but I would see it as like, all right, well, you didn't want to pay us for SmackDown, but clearly, knowing your situation, your little situation, and what we do for you, like you have to break us some bread. Like I know, I just see it as like they're on prime time. If they're on prime time on a weekday, like they have to get paid. You almost have to. Like hell, even AEW was getting paid. And I don't mean that in no disrespect, but I'm just saying like, if you were just to think like, all right, proven product that has a fan base behind it, or the startup, you just think off the reputation alone that like people would just, that they would give them the money as opposed to TNT throwing AEW money. And I mean at this point AEW is making more money than NXT is. But anyway, so another thing to bring up or two is morely, the Saudi show, the one that had to hold up with the financial, the last quarter, they got paid for that. But the show where they kind of had like the standoff, the pissing match with the plane and the from November, the Halloween show. They haven't gotten paid for the Halloween show yet. So I guess they're just going to be running these things like quarter to quarter behind. That's really weird. Because I can tell you this right now. If you owe me $40 to $60 million, I'm not sending nobody into a motherfucking place. You pay me $40 to $60 million. I'm not going to do you another show. I'm not going to give you... think of the credit line like that. Think of the credit line it is. A $40 to $60 million credit line?
This is who they got in bed with, and they have to go because that money's already accounted for on their books. Yep. Like, and if we don't go, that money won't be there, and then the stock will tumble.
Yeah, I can tell you this right now. We're going to see this coming for Blood Money 5. We're going to see who's going over there, who's not, because we heard a lot of talk about people saying, you know, I'm not doing this again. And it doesn't matter how much y'all paying me, or the check gonna have to be so big. You have to put a check with a check with a check to get me to go. We're gonna see.
Yeah.
All right, so on to the actual wrestling in the main roster. This week, the things that pop up to my mind are Angel Garza shows up on Raw. He shows up as a heel after, you know, kind of having a babyface-ish type of turn after winning the NXT Cruiserweight title, where he proposes to his girlfriend or whatever else. He shows up and he kind of like takes the place of Andrade, because Andrade's on, you know, PED suspension, and he ends up DDT. He gives a DDT to Ray on the floor, on the concrete, and he's now basically in direct opposition to his cousin Humberto. And he's acknowledging that he's in direct opposition to his cousin, and he mentioned it on NXT. So, is it just like we'd have to have Ray like feud with every Mexican? Every Mexican that's ever comes through has to feud with Ray at some point. Ray is the only one that we trust to get over or be over. So we got to try to get, if we want to get somebody over, we have to have Ray sprinkle the overdust on him.
The funny shit is, you always hear the rule like, hey, you can't get over everybody at the same time, but like you got all these dudes linked with Rey Mysterio, and it's just like, have at it.
Yeah,
you know?
Like
I think what they're doing is like, we gonna attach all three of them to Ray and hope we get one.
I mean, I remember saying, you know, because you know they've been doing this ever since, like, at least since Del Rio, most famously in you know the early 2011s. Which, you know, yeah, they never got to that match, but yeah, they were building towards it, definitely. But, you know, they had Ray be a personal job for Del Rio, and they were trying to get him over. And, like, honestly, if they're going to have a shot, if they're going to make a real, like, attempt to actually make another Latin superstar, it's probably going to end up being Garza. Garza speaks the best English. Like, you know, knowing what we know about this company, and I would think that, like, just based off quote unquote look, I don't want to get into the code behind the look. Like, you know what the code is. I think Garza's gonna be it. But if they don't make it work with him, then I don't know. We got to wait another 5 years for this. I don't know. Yeah. So then from there, Ruby Riott returns, and apparently she attacks Liv.
Thank God. Thank God they ain't teaming up again, because boy.
Well, you wasn't like you was gonna watch it anyway.
Correct. That's true. But, you know, for all y'all that do want to watch, you know, that Poison, you know, y'all be seeing them. It would only be so long before they, you know, have Sarah Logan, you know, get saved by them, and then all of a sudden it's endless 6-woman tags with the Riot Squad.
Yeah. I mean, anytime you can get back Woman's Shield,
damn it.
You know, anytime you can do it, you got to. They got to catch up with these reunions, man. They already what 4 behind, 3 behind, 5 behind.
They gotta, man. They was pulling them show reunions out like them joints owed them money. Like
I remember one time, like Simon,
we printed these shirts. They will sell.
I remember at one point Simon last year was joking. He was like, bro, isn't this like they 7th reunion? It's like, bruh, stop. It's not been 7. I know there's been like 2 more than there should have been, but it has not been 7. Stop this. Stop. Okay. So from there, it's been announced.
Good for Ruby Riott. She's back.
Look, I'm glad she's back. I think that, you know, given the so little they've done with women outside of like the top of the card, she's somebody that whenever they've given the ball to, like, she has good matches. When they ask her to have good matches, she can cut or say pretty much anything halfway convincingly in a way that a lot of the other female talents aren't really that good at. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, I think it's really not them. I think it's really mostly the terrible men writing this terrible shit to have women to say, because they don't understand how women like function and work and or that women are even actually people. That's probably what it is. But yeah, I think that they should try to position her as somebody to be either a feud like immediately be leading into WrestleMania or after WrestleMania for Becky. But we'll see. Yeah, so it's been announced. Some of these Blood Money matches have been announced. So we're going to apparently be getting, for Blood Money 5, a Lesnar versus Ricochet WWE title match. Based off the fact that Ricochet is scared of Lesnar, but can choke down his fear of Lesnar, and then they've both hit each other in each other's dicks. So that's the feud.
I just want everybody that was out here on Twitter Tuesday morning, all the FDS people saying this is going to be great and we should be happy for this. I just want y'all, when this match happens, and it's a disaster because it's in Saudi Arabia, and Ricochet loses in under 5 minutes, to come let me know how y'all like it then.
Oh, man.
I have no interest in this match. I have no interest in what they're doing with Ricochet. I have no interest
What are they doing with Ricochet besides this? Like, what were they doing with Ricochet before? Hold on.
He's
before the go home show to Royal Rumble. What was he doing?
Being scared like a bitch with Brock to set up his elimination with Drew McIntyre.
Well, that was
it's going to be hilarious.
I mean, that was the go home show, but what was he doing before that go home show?
No idea.
Yeah, same here.
No idea. So, like, and I hope everyone's prepared for when these WrestleMania packages start getting put together. I hope y'all prepare for that man to be airbrushed out during the Royal Rumble. It was strictly Drew McIntyre alone that threw Brock Lesnar out, and this is a setup. This isn't a title shot that actually means anything. Like, it's in Saudi Arabia. Like, fuck out of here. Like,
I have a morbid curiosity because, like, we know that in any other promotion in the world, if those two were to wrestle together, like, they'd have an incredible match. But, and also
they got 2 strikes against them on this.
Yeah, you got Saudi Arabia is like 2 strikes in itself. So, like, what is the best match? Is I'm guessing probably is Mansoor versus Cesaro the best? Like, is that the best Saudi Arabia show we've gotten?
That's the only one that I've ever seen like got good reviews.
Mm.
Who can forget the excellence of Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal? And Jinder Mahal was when Jinder Mahal was selling moves that didn't actually happen in the match. Wow. So it was who can forget John Cena versus Triple H? In the first one. And,
they did an Orton Triple H match, didn't they?
They did last year, I believe, after WrestleMania. Yeah.
Then you have 2-star matches versus Undertaker. You had the Best in the World tournament where, like, the only match that was worth half a damn was, like, Ray versus Miz.
These the fucking DX Brothers of Destruction match, just worst match of the year level match.
Yeah, like that match was a disaster. Like jeez, was
the cage match with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar 1-star match.
Oh my god.
AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura doing double countouts like it's a house show in the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. Crown Jewel.
Prolifically bad.
Look, Crown Jewel, Greatest Royal Rumble.
Oh my god.
Super ShowDown.
You forgot the Corbin interference in that Lesnar-Strowman match.
Oh my god. Yeah. And then bearing. Is everybody, can we say like or Strowman got murdered by that yet, or are we still waiting to have some patience and to let it play out? We still waiting for that, James?
Nah. If we still waiting for that, then like I'm still waiting for him to get his revenge on Vince McMahon for taking his Royal Rumble title shot away, because he gave him backlip by saying, "You're a rich motherfucker, you can buy another limo door."
Yeah. He's the Intercontinental Champion now, though.
For weeks, he had a deal with Stephanie saying that, like, if you don't give me everything I want and I don't earn it along the way, and if I earn it along the way, but if I earn it all along the way and you screw me out of this, I'm going to tear the show. I'm going to flip the show over and tear it up all week and destroy the show weeks on end. And then Vince just comes around literally 4 weeks after the McMahons came out and said, "We're done fucking with people." It took his fucking match away. So to bait and switch y'all to go to buy your travel packages to the baseball stadium in Arizona to watch Royal Rumble. Instead, y'all got the Finn Balor match that went like 7 minutes.
Boy.
And I said y'all like I'm not one of them. Like we got that, but yeah. Oh boy. Okay, so next on the list, Bray Wyatt, possibly the Fiend, versus Bill Goldberg for the WWE Universal title at Blood Money 5.
Well, Goldberg finally getting his Universal title rematch.
Fuck you. You're an asshole for saying that. So automatic, title rematches are a thing of the past. They're antiquated. Oh yeah, Shane.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Oh,
so they're gonna have him fight the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Goldberg, a man who took himself so seriously at one point that he would not even get in the ring with Chris Jericho. He in WCW. Now he's gonna be out there with this cartoon ghoul motherfucker that has awful matches and doesn't sell. So this can only be a car crash. Like, this can only be botchamania, negative star, just complete wrestle crap. Just oh my god. I hope Goldberg beats him in 30 seconds. I really do. Because I want all those people that have those Fiend avatars on Twitter to like have a complete meltdown and just like, realize what the fuck just happened to them. Like, oh, y'all thought y'all was going to WrestleMania, huh? No, you about to drop that shit off to Goldberg so he can drop that shit off to Roman Reigns.
I mean, let's be honest. Who you rather see in a WrestleMania match?
I know.
Goldberg. Look, seriously, Bray Wyatt in Roman Reigns, or Roman Reigns and Goldberg in a spear versus spear match. I'd much rather see Goldberg versus Reigns. Much rather see it, because that match only gonna go for like 5 minutes, but it'll be a action-packed 5 minutes. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do to Roman Reigns. Look, think about all the things they've done to Roman Reigns over the last like 3 years, right? I don't know what Bray Wyatt's gonna do to him.
They gonna like it's almost a no. They can't ever find somebody for this man to beat, because it's like Goldberg's a legend. People love him. Oh nigga, you beat Goldberg? Fuck that shit! Like, I can hear it now.
Oh my god,
they can't never find. Look, they never did Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns.
Right.
This whole time. Not saying that people would be cool with that happening, because then Roman Reigns had to win, but that would be his best match, and then you got a whole story you can lean on, but they don't ever want to do that for whatever reason. But Goldberg versus the Fiend, potential for just an all-time car crash in the worst possible way.
Any chance, like, Vince has some of this in him where he'll put out some stuff that's so bad that like it's train wreck television or car wreck television, where it's like it's so bad that we think people won't turn away or people will tune in to see how bad it is, like the wedding thing on Christmas. Do you think that like he threw that out there? It's like, look, I already paid Goldberg this money to stay away from TNT wrestling ever again. Let's put him out here and do this, and like the shit's gonna suck, and I'ma laugh at like the response.
He doesn't care, and then also it's in Saudi Arabia, so he could just take the belt off Bray Wyatt and not have to worry about nobody flipping out in the arena.
So you really think they're actually gonna flip it to Goldberg?
I don't see why not.
I don't see why not either, but I think they're gonna just keep it on Bray and like. Just completely,
good luck with that.
Looking completely give Roman Reigns no shot at WrestleMania. Yeah, you're our top star. We're gonna fuck you every year. Okay, so
they don't want Roman Reigns to have good matches at WrestleMania ever.
They don't want Roman Reigns to have good pay-per-view matches ever, because also going on at Blood Money 5. Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns in a Steel's Cage match, brother.
The Nightmare Collective has ended before Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin.
Oh my
God. Brandy literally burnt her Nightmare Collective gear and whatever hat she was wearing on Twitter tonight.
Oh my God. You're right. You're right.
Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin is the feud that will not end. And then remember, they were fighting each other before WrestleMania in that 6-man match that they did with the Shield and, the sixth reunion that they did.
Yeah.
Why? Why are they determined? We can't sniff a Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan match, but we got to have 12 Corbin Reigns matches. Nothing is settled, apparently. I don't get it. Apparently they made the man eat dog food, and you would think that's it. No. Just more. I'm good, man. There's a reason I don't watch this company. Unbelievable. Poor Roman Reigns.
Yeah. They say, go to Saudi Arabia and have another cage match. Never mind the first one you had that was a disaster with the much better fucking wrestler. Go out there again with a far inferior wrestler and try it again.
So bad. Woo! So bad what they've done to Roman Reigns this entire year, and then they're going to roll him out to WrestleMania and wonder why he's not over. Those be the breaks. This was a choice.
It absolutely was. You can have someone go out there and have killer feuds and killer matches with people. Nah. Good wrestling, entertaining television, that's not what the people want.
We're going to have them fight these monsters and
give them Reggie. Give them all the mid. They'll love it. Okay. Last bit of news for the main roster. On SmackDown, there was a number 1 contendership match between 4 baby faces for the SmackDown Women's title. It was Naomi, Carmella, Alexa Bliss, and Dana Brooke. And fresh off of her return to the main roster after being put on husband punishment. I don't know, whatever. And going viral on the internet and getting some buzz for yourself is a thing they
real
always
life viral, not wrestling Twitter viral,
right.
Real life viral.
Right. After all the stuff they talk about people, doing stuff to break from the mold and to grab the brass ring and to stand out and to be legendary as a buzz is one of the mottos from one of the video games previous years. Naomi, fresh from, being off TV, not being overexposed, she comes in and she does the JOB for Carmella, who in November I saw get thrown basically into the trash by Bianca Belair in a meme that will live on in perpetuity beyond our lifespans, all of us. That will live forever. So
send it out for Black History Month.
Yes. So she lost to her. Fucking why?
So it was a fatal 4-way. I'm gathering.
Dana Brooke and Alexa Bliss were also in this match.
Correct. And keep in mind, Naomi has Twitter on fire. Some reason she had to do a job. Does it matter? Not really. But you know how you make sure it doesn't matter? Doing shit like this. Why couldn't Dana Brooke have gotten pinned here?
Exactly.
If
Dana Brooke's in the fucking match to get pinned.
Yeah,
she's Dana Brooke. How we always talk about how,
people have also married themselves to a Naomi WrestleMania chase too off of this. I don't know what happens with these people when they see these things. The alarm never goes off that it's not happening.
My thing is, let's say it was happening. Why the fuck would you do this?
Throw them off the scent.
Yeah. That works so well for them when they throw you off the scent. Yeah, but, one of the things we talk about during, since, the Wednesday Night War is how much I enjoy pin eaters getting pinned. I love nothing more than watching Joey Janela get put on his back for 3. I love nothing more than watching, in tag matches, watching Chucky T get fucking pinned instead of Beretta, because it makes sense. Pin eaters aren't a place to eat pins. Dana Brooke's a pin eater. How much she's been on the main roster since 2015, 16? 15, right? Late 15?
16.
Early 16?
Yep.
Yeah. She's been around since early. No. Wasn't she around before WrestleMania 32?
Yeah, no, after.
Okay. All right. Either way, she's been around for over 4 years.
Ain't showing us a thing. Like,
people talk about how backstage she is one of the hardest workers. She is constantly working on her craft. She's constantly always flying back to the PC to try to get better and try to get better. Look, man, people think that like wrestling is something that like everybody's going to take to if they try hard enough. Sometimes I believe that like practice makes perfect, but like there's also a limit to how good you're going to be. We've seen this. We've seen her do all these, these bleeding heart promos talking about how hard she tries and works, and there was some minimal effect to that, but they killed that dead a year ago.
Yeah, they would have her come out there and just get like squished
by Rousey, right? Yeah. So it's like, look, man,
is she the woman Mojo Rawley?
Ooh, possibly, yeah, possibly. I mean, they haven't done to her what they've done to him, where he's in the dark room.
Oh my god!
Or he's in the dark room and he's out there painting on his face, looking like Mr. Glass. They haven't had him out here, come out during a dark segment to cut a promo while he's out here looking like he's trying to rob cryptocurrency in the year 2051, looking like, I think of last year on the joke I said that like Spider-Man 2099's got to stop this nigga. They haven't done that to Dana yet, but yeah, there I see the parallels that you bring up. Yeah. I just don't understand the need to beat her when she's fresh. Like, she's fresh. You have a second chance with her, or another chance with her, and you just immediately it goes to do jobs. It's like so lazy, so lacking in forethought, knowing that like there's not a soul worth a damn on that SmackDown side aside from like Sasha, Bayley, or worth a damns in over. Those like the only two on that roster. You're gonna need a Naomi. Like, and think of the times when we were talking about last year on SmackDown when they were still on USA, when we were talking about like, bro, they were able to make SmackDown work off the strength of mostly just Charlotte and Becky's hate for each other, and then occasionally you have Osaka come in, and then you would have Naomi as the fourth person that they never used, even though she was clearly the fourth person, or they almost never used her except for like to get Osaka a title shot. So they already know what they have in her by the fact that they did this, last year, at the end of last year, or the end of 2018. And then, she's back, and like the SmackDown women's division is even worse now. Like, pull the fucking trigger already, man.
Yeah. Am I shocked? No, this is the story of Naomi's career. Like, yeah. So,
yeah. Like, she's a PC'er. She's an NXT'er. Like, she's WWE through and through. Never got a shot. Never. Even when they made her champion, never got a shot. Never let her feud with a single horsewoman. Never had a pay-per-view match with a singles match with a horsewoman ever. Like, just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Anyway, enough of that shit. Let's talk about the Wednesday Night Wars. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, I guess that's me trying to be fun. So let's start with AEW. And by AEW, I mean the week of the whooping.
The whooping.
Rich,
yes, sir.
Thoughts on the whooping, the ass beatery?
Oh man, I loved it. I thought it was compelling. It was dramatic. It was like it caused a visceral reaction in you that was just like, oh my God. So the whole day I had kind of built it up to myself. Like I was like doing the jokey jokes. I was sending out the DJ Hustle and Flow whoop that trick gif a bunch. I was doing all this funny shit, whatever. But like this segment was like the opposite of like funny shit or like irony or anything like that. Like by the time he took that third one, I was like locked in, like living and dying. I don't even like this dude like that. Like he's fine. Like, but I watched it, and after that third one, it was like you're rooting for Cody to just make it through and do whatever you got to do to take these lashes so you can get your hands on this fucker. Like, and I think it was great for MJF because with MJF, he has a little bit of the 80s irony stuff that everyone kind of like silently kind of laughs at. And, oh, okay, it's kind of cute and ironic how he acts. No, he showed he is a worthless son of a bitch with no redeeming qualities. He's just like the scum of the earth. Like he's terrible. He's a terrible human being. Like that's what he showed on this show. And it was like, and he's evil and he's rough. Like, and he's tough, like, and I think he needed that, especially like, fresh off getting thrown in the pool and everything like that. But I was just listening to All Things Elite, and it was funny because I watched it with Catherine after. She told me it was like tough to watch or whatever, just because like it's a whooping essentially. But it was like a beautiful segment or whatever. It was like a beautifully violent kind of like just you see everyone coming out to encourage them, and I just fell all the way into it. I loved it. I think it's like one of the defining moments of AEW so far.
Okay, first out, shouts out to Cody, because Cody's out here literally putting his body on the line to try to get this guy over. For me, this is a feud that like I'm just not attached to because one, I don't think most of the heavy lifting that should have been done to make this stuff feel earned is actually earned. You look at the TV, they did the split way too fucking soon. If you want to talk to me about road twos and all this other shit, I'm going to tell you to watch the TV or think of it from outside the perspective of you that watches way too much fucking wrestling, and that's come from me who watches way too much fucking wrestling. So there's that. There's also the part where like they've done a bunch of promos and a lot of time with MJF, and what they have not done with him, like they've done a good job explaining that he's a dick. They've done a good job of that, of doing that perfect 10 out of 10 on like getting over that he's a dick. What they have yet to explain is there any reason whatsoever for why he screwed over Cody in this way, other than just to do it? Like, and I don't mean he's not really the guy that you think he is, guys, or he's a liar. Like, okay, can you give me, one thing that showed, like, I think about the Jericho stuff a lot. Think about AEW stuff, and I think a lot about how when he was doing the hypocrite thing with Sean in 08, 09, or whatever, I think it was 08, and the fact that he had just this much truth to get over the fact that, like, this dude faked a knee injury to lay out Batista, and if I had done that, y'all would have fucking been pissed with me, and, like, I wouldn't have gotten that pass, so I'm going to take it out on this dude. The fact that, like, he had that little shred of truth as a bad guy to piss you off will make you hate him even more. They've done nothing of that sort with MJF, and I'm going to get to my thoughts on the whooping first, but I feel the reason why I'm so detached from the emotion of this whole thing is, or one of the reasons is, I just don't buy MJF, or the reason why, MJF hates this dude so much. So there's that. And I also don't buy why Cody would be so hurt that a dude that, whatever. But, him, I think that I'm going to skip past that part, getting to the TV side of it. I think there are things that were done on that show, on that segment that pulled me out of it. I think the fact that he took an ass whooping, even though I just saw Daniel Bryan get lashed like that a month ago, in a match, I thought that him taking a whooping, like you see him mark up or whatever else, I think like he sold very well. I think that the Brandy thing, like that, just was like, what? I feel like I get why they did it, but it's one of those things where like you do something and then like you just think about like the immediate, oh, and that happens a lot of Cody matches where like something will happen in Cody's match and it'll pop the crowd. But so I mean it worked, so I'm not knocking it. It worked for most people. So, but for me personally, it's just like, okay, once you get past the, like, if you don't get popped by the thing that he did, the smoke and mirrors thing he did, I look at what he did and I'm thinking like, wait, so he broke the throne and he's going to go wrestle his brother by wearing a Cody's or a Dusty's favorite and then like heel out on his brother. Okay. Like, why would you do the Thronebreaker thing when you're about to go play a heel? Whatever. Or this thing with Brandy was like, Brandy was just a witch, like fucking with the entire women's division for months on end. And then she just comes out of nowhere and like none of that's explained. She's just all of a sudden Brandy again after being a witch. Okay. All right.
So when I watched it the second time, I watched it twice. That was actually the part that like kind of stood out to me. It was like the best part, kind of, because it's like this man getting whooped and he needed that strength from her. And, you know, I don't know. I didn't really get caught up in that whole thing because, you know, I've been watching the Nightmare Collective basically end. So,
but that's the thing we talk about, Rich. When I talk about when you say, well, they explained it somewhere off TV, it's like, okay, all right, Rich. If I were to tell you that I was moving to Africa tomorrow, right? You'd be like, wait, why? What's going on? And I'd be like, well, it happened. I was planning this out for months. I just never told you because it was happening ... somewhere else off screen. Is that on me? Am I the person? I'm sorry. Is that on you or is that on me for not telling you? All you got to do is like when we talk about when they do the stuff on Dynamite or whatever, or not Dynamite, but on Dark. It's like if there's something that's important that ties into the story that needs to be told, don't put it somewhere on the supplemental thing. Bring up the supplement. Like, you can do that, but bring up the supplemental thing on your TV so we have an idea and context that fills in whatever story you're really trying to tell. They didn't do that. She just came out.
I think it works either way because either A, you're looking at, you know, what she used to be, like, hold on, like, she done broke character for this shit. So, like, for me, it works either way.
I took it as, what the fuck? She was a witch. So when did this change happen? And how come it was never explained? Like I was thinking, like you just change someone's gimmick in the middle of out of nowhere just to get this over. And I'm like, okay, well you didn't even tie up this loose end yet.
Look, if they got to tie up a loose end to end the Nightmare Collective, I'm fine with it. Or leave a loose end, I'm fine with it because like.
But they didn't have to do that.
I mean, to get over the last one and getting the strength to take the last one and get up. No, Rich. I'm not saying that what they did with the Brandy was wrong. I'm saying that the fact that they didn't tie up that loose end and have her come back as a normal fucking person before, like a week before, and then have her come out there, then it'd been like, okay, like I think you kind of you know did it randomly because you knew this Cody thing needed this or whatever else, but at least you can point to say like there was effort here that was done towards this. And I'm not saying there was no effort there by doing it off screen somewhere on Dynamite or BT or whatever else, but you didn't give us none of that on Dynamite. And it would have took 15-30 seconds. Like when you see me complain about the stuff they do that like they should point to as far as context for you, like we're talking about stealing 30 seconds here and there. Just don't do the fourth fucking dive. That's all I'm asking. Don't do the fourth dive. Just show me where you're headed or add to where you're headed so that like I can feel more fulfilled and this feels like a more fleshed out story that's more cohesive. And like I'm not saying that like this is some gigantic
plot hole, but it does make me feel like, wait, what? Okay, never mind. Like, I guess I need to just move on. It's like, it's almost like, what movie was it? What movie was it? Oh, Endgame. It's like, okay, so you look at the track of Captain America's life through these movies, right? Like, he kisses his love his life's great niece in one of these movies. He basically doesn't tell Iron Man that he knows who killed his parents, and he's known for years. And then at the very end, when like all hope is lost, this man like summons the God of Thunder's, hammer weapon, because he now, after like 5 years, has become more worthy. It's like, wait, what? Like for me, like I'm not saying that ruins stuff for me. I just say it pulls me out of it, and it makes me think like, man, okay, all right, but whatever. Like, Cody Ward asked him for it. I wish that Wardlow had got like maybe 1 or 2 more lashes to kind of get him over more of him being a person that you want to see Cody eventually whoop his ass in 2 weeks. But I guess 1's good enough. I thought that the segment went like 5 minutes too long. It just like, I get what you're doing, but like, do we need like, at some point I was like, all right, so when is like DDP coming out? DDP never came out, but like, it was like all these people are coming out. Like, when is his mom coming out? When is, I guess Brandy filled the mom void or whatever else, but it's like when is his high school wrestling coach gonna come out and say, I'll take the lashes too? Like, it's like, come on, man.
Well, his pro coach came out, so
Arn.
Yeah. That was covered too.
Hey, we haven't talked about it because that was last week, but like when Arn came out with the offensive spreadsheet, like offensive coordinator was about to call plays, and it was laminated, and it had like, hey man, don't
goofy.
Listen. Oh, I loved it. I loved it for this reason only, right? For years, you will have people that are wrestling fans, that are FDSers or whatever else, and they talk about how people don't really watch wrestling. They call it video game wrestling, whatever else, and they hate people that refer to people's wrestling as a moveset.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck you think was on that spreadsheet? Moves, nigga, moves. So don't tell me that Cody is a spot monkey. Cody is the most opposite of a spot monkey you'll ever find, outside of like fucking Kazuchika Okada. So if he has a move set, so does Roman Reigns, so does everybody else you like that sometimes does not have great matches because they get shitty layouts and told not to go not wrestle in a smart, entertaining way, compelling way most of the time. So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I thought this segment was magic, and it was like, it was emotionally gripping in a way that a lot of things in wrestling just aren't. And it was like, this is a thing that they can build off of. Like, there's, like, you're not going to be able to do this too many other times, but you can always reference it. You can always talk about the 10 lashes. You can always, have that as something evil that MJF has in him. Like, remember when he did that to Cody? Mm-hmm. Or you remember when Cody took them 10 lashes? Like, and, the fact, like, I noticed one little thing. Kenny Omega did not come out during that thing.
Right. Neither did he.
Maybe that's something later on they point to. Never know. But yeah, I loved it, and it was like, you
mean when like Cody comes out is him being like the exalted one, or what? Him or can he come out as the exalted one?
It's not the exalted one,
huh?
No, not happening.
One of them. Think about it. Like, it was supposed to be Scroll. It's not gonna Scroll. If it's Daniels, that's gonna seem like it's gonna be real small potatoes. You just think about it, it's like, all right, how can the Aces and 8 this shit where they whoop one of these elite dudes and been like, it was me all along. I did this to throw y'all off the scent back in December. I can see it.
But
Yeah,
anyway. I loved it. I thought, it made me want to see it, and Cody and MJF don't necessarily come with the reputations of. I'm just wondering what type of match.
See their match.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what kind of match should they do, because they're not going to do a work rate match, so they have to do like a blood
what kind of
match,
match,
right?
you mean?
No. Like just like what kind of style are they going to fight in? Like,
gotcha.
Like they have to have like a blood, like a fist fight, right? Like because by that time, like Cody can't touch him, so he's going to try to put hands all over him, I would think.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I think we'll probably get more informed on that sort of thing maybe by, once Cody like fucks up Wardlow in a way that where he can't be ringside, and then it's like you're really like, I feel like that's going to be one of the things, like he's going to whoop Wardlow so bad like Wardlow won't be around, or Wardlow won't be there at first, like maybe he'll come out at the end of the match or whatever else and interfere because it's a Cody match, so of course it's going to be smoke and mirrors at the end. But I think they're going to come up with something to get Wardlow off the table, at least you thinking he's going to be off the table going into pay-per-view. That's what I would do anyway, because you did this whooping thing, you did all this stuff, like you need to get it to a point where like people are like, oh, it's going to be you and him one-on-one isolation. I'm still at a point where it's like, maybe that's the reason why I'm not that jazzed. It was like, at the end of the day, it's still going to be Cody having to work MJF. And like, if this was anybody but MJF, I'd be like, yeah, definitely. But it's like, it's going to be MJF and, okay. So from there, Moxley versus Ortiz. I thought they had a pretty good match. And then by the end, Moxley, you had a bunch of interference from Santana. Santana botched some of the interference. He's supposed to grab his leg, and Moxley still sold it if he got his leg snatched. By the end of it, interference comes in, and Moxley grabs out the keys to the GT, and he ends up stabbing Santana in the eye. So now, there's also a one-eyed guy.
One-eyed Willie.
Yeah, there's also a one-eyed guy in Inner Circle. And then they set up, they did that to set up, that killer promo from Santana, and you're going to get Santana versus Moxley next week in a 2-eye match.
Yeah, eye to eye. Yeah, I thought Ortiz was awesome in this match. It's like, man, awesome singles wrestler, and Santana. I think I like Santana more as a wrestler. So
same here.
Next week. This is a classic. Go through the whole entire stable before you get to the guy at the end. This is almost like a karate movie,
right?
So,
like he's beaten.
He beat Sammy already.
He beat Sammy already, like a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Just beat Ortiz on the way to Santana. Like obviously he's never going to get to Swagger because Hager, because Hager don't wrestle. Right? He don't do wrestling matches.
He don't exchange holds.
Right? He's only here for interference and for brawling to the back. That's it.
Hey, they might have figured it out.
Yes.
I ain't never seen Jake Hager use this good.
Also, that man's on that Lesnar. He's like, how can I get paid as much as possible for doing as little as possible? That man is on that Orton Lesnar role. Good for him.
True working.
How old is Swagger?
I think he's like 37, 38.
That man even is 40 yet, and he's already figured out the game.
True working.
Who's really winning? So you got that. Then you have what was it? It was who are the heels? It was Lucha Bros and
Lucha Bros, Butcher and the Blade.
That's
against the Bucks and Kenny and Hangman.
Right.
Awesome match. Just
really,
a million miles an hour. RLPW and Hangman over as fuck.
Was MJF on commentary?
Yes.
Or was that last week?
That was last week. When he was saying, who trained the Young Bucks? Nobody.
Right, they're backyarders. That's right. That was fucking hilarious. Yeah, MJF was great on commentary. Like he got over the Butcher and Blade more than anybody else has on AEW television since they've been on AEW television. By saying like, trained by Barnett, I can't remember who else he got trained
by. Thatcher.
Yes, Thatcher. And it's like, oh, that's why we should care about these guys. They're like they were trained by ass kickers.
Yep.
They just had dudes show up and get masks and chop meat, and we were supposed to give a fuck. Okay.
Oh, I like seeing Kenny in there with the Butcher. I thought they had some good chemistry, so wouldn't mind seeing a tag match with Butcher and the Blade and Kenny and Hangman at some point. But I thought Phoenix,
their match with Darby and Cody was good too.
Yeah,
a few weeks back. It was like maybe the second week of January. Yeah.
Then Phoenix, of course, was just
oh my God,
a ball of electricity in this match all over, and yeah, like. But I think like the real story here is like, you know, the Hangman doesn't want to tag the Bucks. He'll only tag Kenny, even while hurt. There was some miscommunications going on with them. It seems like they're trying to like, I won't say redo the Golden Lovers versus Young Bucks storyline, but it's like a remix kind of it. So, and you know, the Bucks of course are like kind of whiny, and Hangman's just getting more over and more over. So like. They just came out with a Hangman Hold My Beer shirt. They're about to sell a bunch of those.
Do you think the Young Bucks are actually whiny, or do you think that like, why is this dude being this mopey asshole? For what did we do?
I'm still trying to figure it out. Like putting everything together. Like
the only
it's
explanation
just like,
is he's jealous of them.
It's like I think the deal is like he failed in the beginning. But he got a little. He actually won the belts, even like when he tried to break away from those guys.
Right. And he's still
with
Kenny,
Kenny
still looking like he's not the star. That's why they did the interview thing where Shivani was like, "Hey, Kenny," as opposed to guy that won the titles almost single-handedly. I get you. Yeah.
Like it's always about Kenny. It's always about the Bucks, and then Kenny's trying to play the peacemaker between them all and hold it together. But eventually, he's gonna have to pick a side. Mm-hmm. You're gonna pick the guy you got the belts with, or you're gonna pick like the Bucks. And
there's also the added part of him being like having to deal with that, and also having to deal with Pac, and like that's gonna like take some of his attention away, which will then only make Hangman resent him more.
Correct.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot like this. Like there's so many levels to this, and it's like you could talk about it all day, like what's going to happen. But I believe the Bucks are going to win that battle royal, and then you know those two are like they're going to do a tag match. It's going to be they're not going to turn anyone. Like everyone's just going to continue to play these like roles that they're doing right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm into it. So what else we got from AEW?
Taking off from the. You know, attention diverted from diverted and split between Kenny Omega. You have Pac, who came out and threatened violence upon Riho, who just sat there like a fucking prop and didn't move or run or had no agency, like a goddamn dummy and a damn damsel in distress. A fucking world champion can't decide to get out of fucking harm's way. Why? Because apparently people that don't speak our language understand the fucking threat of danger, right?
Yeah, better learn what the fuck going on.
Keep in mind, this is the second time they've had Kenny basically come out and save the fucking women's world champion. Remember when Nyla, after she beat Nyla, and then Nyla laid her out and was about to powerbomb her through a table or something, and Kenny had to run out to stop her after Rhea just beat her 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the fucking ring. I'm so sick and tired of Rhea getting her ass whooped by Nyla after all she does is fucking beat her in matches. It makes no goddamn sense. I'm going to calm down. So,
she put it through a table on the first too.
Yeah. So
it's her gimmick. She puts people through tables. Yeah. Or she bounces them off the table because sometimes Riho doesn't break the table.
Right, because she's only like probably 80 pounds. Then there's also I remember off air, I shouldn't bring this up, but off air on the Twitter from what I saw, then she while she was waiting for Uber, then she lay out Jungle Boy.
Yes. Dropped him through the table.
Yeah. So
Shanna, the ref.
Yeah.
A lot of people. She had a table match with Shanna on Dark, and it was like kind of creative how they did it.
Okay. Leave that shit on Dark. I don't want to see no table matches. Like, look, you might be able to have 5-star table matches. I don't want to see it after seeing WWE table matches. I don't care. I don't want to see them. So Yeah, so you have that part where I thought that was really that leads to a potential mixed tag match between those four. That also leads to adding to what we're going to have in 3 weeks in this Iron Man match for 30 minutes between Kenny and Pac, which will probably be the best match they have in AEW television in 2020. I desperately want someone to tell me before, like, 1 week out, 2 weeks out, I don't care. What I need to know, I need to be told this will be the opener.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna announce that.
I want to know that it's the opener so that I know that there will be no fucking commercials. I don't want commercials in the middle of my 30-minute Iron Man match. I don't care if it's a break between the falls. I don't care. I don't want to cut away from that. Don't cut away. Cut away from that. I want to stay there for 30 minutes, please. I beg of you.
Never know. They could like, you know, they're like, we have taken our last commercial, you know, and, you know, do whatever. So I'm not sure how to do it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, not sure. I'm very excited about it though. So Kenny's been on fire as a tag wrestler all year, and he's been having his working boots on, and you know, Pac's been calling him out for weeks and weeks and weeks, and
I haven't wanted to watch. Well, yeah. Well, this is what I'll say. From a work rate perspective and a work rate perspective alone, I have not wanted to watch an AEW match as much as this Iron Man match since Moxley Omega, before it turned into that. Like, just the idea of, like, first off, we already seen them have two great matches, but like now they're 30 minutes and like they're gonna get beat multiple times. Like, it's just,
I just hope they don't do anything goofy, like as far as like get DQ, try to get DQ.
Oh,
well,
God.
they don't do DQ in the promo.
I see what you're doing. You're making a Johnny Gargano joke. I get you.
No, I was making a Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler joke.
Oh God! You know, I still never saw that match.
Don't.
Okay.
So John never had an Iron Man match, but that was the 2 out of 3 fall. That was even goofier because you have less room to play with there.
Yeah.
But I hope they don't do anything goofy. I hope either they do like, you know, 1 fall, 2 falls, maybe like a 2-to-1 or something like that.
Yeah, I think, you know, well, if they go for a 2-2 tie,
they could.
That would mean, like, then
they got to run it on pay-per-view eventually.
Yep, and it'll be the 7th. It'll be Game 7.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, don't think they won't give us a tie, because like, and
this is a perfect scenario to do a tie in.
Yeah. And then you also have because the Nyla stuff, the Nyla and Riho thing, that also helps set up the.
You got a title match next week.
Nyla title match was like, how many fucking times are you gonna get beaten a women's title match for you? And she don't be like, oh, you know, she's been on those 3-ways. She's the one who always takes the fucking pins. I don't know how or why she's earned another shot, but I don't get it, because like Sheeta, Statlander got her match fucked with. Okay, Nyla, go out there and get beat again. Fine. Who do you think Rio's gonna wrestle at Revolution?
Maybe Britt Baker. Maybe.
Again.
Maybe.
Again.
They wrestled once.
Wasn't she in the? Oh no! I'm sorry. Britt. They've wrestled one time, and then Britt keeps losing number 1 contendership matches. I'm sorry. She lost the.
Britt Baker might not get the shot. She might not get the shot. It might be Statlander. They'll be like, yeah, we're gonna run it. You know, without bullshit this time.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I have to see.
Okay, so now that you brought up Britt, we can finish part 2 of AEW has dumb Joshis. So, Britt comes out. Britt slaps on the lockjaw. Yuka Sakazaki escapes and gets the first win, because on Dynamite, on her first match of Dynamite, she's immediately, people like her because she's she's more charismatic than Riho is, a lot more. Super likable, looks like a damn cartoon drawing. So Britt officially snaps, attacks this woman, does the American History X curb stomp on the back of her head, except on the bottom rope. I don't know why or how. Explain the wrestling logic what she did to get Yuka to bite down on the fucking rope. Why did she clamp down on the rope herself with her own jaw, Rich? Am I not supposed to think about that?
Yeah, you ain't supposed to think about that. Okay. That's not how it's booked, James. Like you get your head put down and you open your mouth. That's in the unwritten AEW rule book.
Repeat that. Repeat. Say that again, sir.
I said when you get down and you put your mouth on the rope. That's the way it goes. In the unwritten rule book. That's kind of you don't think about it after that.
Hey man, after you said that, I think I pineapples, get me the fuck up out of here, bro. So you have that, and she's missing a tooth, so it's like, she's a dentist. I see what you did there.
Brutal.
Blood and guts.
Britt Baker.
Yeah, brutal Britt Baker, who still
Triple B's. Who knew?
Yes, who has still yet to figure out how to whoop a Japanese woman. She's 0 for everything against Japanese women. She has yet to be Japanese.
She struggles against them. She hasn't really had that type of experience yet. I know she has beat Emi Sakura before, I believe.
Okay,
I think I would have to check that, but I'm pretty sure she's beat her.
Okay, all right. So she only with veteran Japanese women. She can't beat anyone like
legend
her age.
Legend.
Yeah.
Legend? Look, they tell me she's a legend.
Look, I've seen her wrestle before, and from 2016. 2016, Emi Sakura is better than any woman you've ever seen on American television. In the last decade. So yeah. But anyway,
I continue to like Britt Baker.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're turning her into a heel because, she can be the top heel in the division. I'm wondering at what point do we get... Jamie or B back on TV if we ever do. I don't know. But yeah, I think they're in a...
They're both signed.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I know B is for sure.
Okay.
Real signed.
Okay, well, have we seen her this year? Have we seen her since Full Gear?
She's been booked. Yes, she wrestled Statlander on Dark.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, y'all told me. That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so Chris Daniels, Fallen Angel.
Yeah, so on BTE, I think it was last week, he got called out the room with the Bucks or whatever, right? And then his bag was sitting there. So Sky and Daniels are there, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" And then they pull out the Dark Order mask that's inside of his bag. Leads to Dynamite. They get the win over.
Was it what are the
best
name
friends?
Of the minions? What name of the goons and
the Creepers?
Was it
the
a Creeper
mask
or was it a Uno mask?
The Creeper mask.
Okay.
Uno got his own special mask. They had the teeth or whatever.
Right, but I figured if he is actually the Exalted one, then he would have a
super mask.
He would have a non-lower Dark Order mask. He would not be wearing one of the worker masks.
Yeah. So they get the win over the best friends, I believe. Chucky T takes his pin. Yeah. And
of course. Look, as he should.
The Dark Order comes out there and ready to whoop ass and starts whooping ass. That you always gotta be on alert for the Dark Order. You lose, shit, and you gotta look at that entrance ramp, make sure they ain't coming.
So are they like Sandman and the Apollo? Yes, if you go out there with that whack shit, they finna come get your ass off the stage.
We're gonna whoop your ass.
Okay.
So they basically clear these niggas out, and then at the end, Christopher Daniels comes out and he wants to run it, but they all back away from him and won't fight him. Then immediately you're supposed to be like, I wonder why they won't fight this man. So the story continues.
Yeah. Quick note, I forgot to mention this is when we were talking about the Hangman and Young Bucks stuff and where did we think that might be going. Next week they defend the titles in a rematch against SCU. Only other thing to really mention on AEW was they seem to be building towards Darby versus Guevara, with Darby doing the vignette with a fucking flamethrower.
I loved it. Yo, so
Dude,
the best thing was Darby couldn't talk, right? Because of what they did to him on the skateboard.
Right.
And that's a great way to like make sure Darby Allin don't have to talk or whatever. So I don't know if he can cut promos or not, but until we know, this is a good way to kill a week or so. This nigga Darby Allin has like the cutout of Jericho and Sammy, and it looks like it's in some rural part of Georgia, like some wood area where he like, has like a skateboarding ramp, like a dirt kind of trail. This man literally pulls out a flamethrower and literally burns the damn the cardboard standee to a crisp. It's like, did Tony send him the flamethrower? Did I guess the money's the AEW, that con money, bro. You can just buy a flamethrower if you want. Apparently out here,
yeah. The flamethrower is not nearly as expensive as you would think it is. Like the flamethrower is like you can get one of those off the internet, off of Amazon for like under $2,000.
Look, I would like to believe that Darby Allin shopped on the dark web.
Well, maybe he did, but I'm just saying, like, I would like to point out how disturbing it is that like it on for $2,000, which is not that much money in the real world, that you can get a fucking flamethrower. How do we not have? Okay, I understand that like we don't have regulations on, or I don't understand but I'm aware that we don't have regulations or really many regulations in the way of grabbing a firearm, right? You mean to tell me we ain't got nothing to protect us from a flamethrower?
Look, remember when Triple H had the flamethrower and Goldust?
The Go Home Show before WrestleMania 15. There was.
You think you used the same one?
There was a fucking. God damn it! the Go Home Show on Raw, the Monday right before WrestleMania 15. They were setting up a feud between Kane and Triple H based on the fact that Kane had shot a fire. I think China had turned on Triple H by that point in time. Kane and China were together.
Yeah.
China had Triple H in a full Nelson, and Kane was going to throw a fireball because, of course, the guy that got burnt like controls fire because he's the Undertaker's brother. Whatever. He went to throw a fireball. Triple H ducked, and it hit China. So, like, there was a reconciliation between China, I believe, or whatever else. So, the Go Home Show it's a match between Goldust and Kane. The week
Except
before,
it ain't Goldust.
The week before Triple H and Kane WrestleMania. So, all of a sudden, Goldust comes out, and he has the paint on. He does the all the hand motions, whatever else. And he has the big robe on in the wig. Except it don't look like really a wig. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, he opens up. He opens up the robe, and and all of a sudden he doesn't have a flamethrower, but he has a fucking bazooka. He's like, "What the fuck is Goldust doing with a fucking bazooka in the middle of this wrestling, in the middle of a wrestling ring?" Next thing you know, he pulls it out. Kane doesn't flinch. Next thing you know, a ball of fire comes out of this fucking bazooka and just blasts Kane. I'm not joking.
Oh
you can go on YouTube and find this fucking thing. And I was brought to this and I saw it and I howled. He fucking blasts this dude with a fucking wall of fire. A wall of fire. Kane's burnt to a crisp. I don't know what Kane had on his body. I'm sure he had no more like hair on his, like he smelled like singed hair all on his arm and whatever. Like he's on the wall selling. Look, probably because it was a shoot. He wasn't selling nothing. That was legit, bro. So all of a sudden you see him, Kane, the Big Red Machine, writhing in pain, and then you see the wig come, or it wasn't a wig, whatever else, or yeah, it was a wig. Take off the wig, and you see this Triple H that was wearing the gold dust robe, and then you hear Jim Ross say, almost deadpan, "Well, we'll see you on Sunday for tune in for WrestleMania 15, where you can see Kane versus Triple H." After a guy got hit with a wall of fire, so. For you to flash back from
what a build.
That, for you to flash back to that, to
yes,
to Darby Allin hitting a cardboard cutout with a flamethrower. Oh my god! Like, dude, wrestling's fucking ridiculous and stupid and awesome. It just really is.
If I saw somebody was preparing for me via flamethrower, I'd be kind of has anybody, like, Sammy got to address this on the vlog? Like, he got to say what's on his mind about this.
Like, nah, bro.
Like, can we make sure he does not have a flamethrower with him, please?
I think I look. I see somebody pull out a flamethrower in preparation for a upcoming feud with me. Then I think it's time for me to officially turn in my letter of resignation from All Elite Wrestling. I am officially retired from the professional wrestling business. No, we're not doing this. Sorry. You know somebody that I'm surprised never had a flamethrower feud.
Who?
New Jack.
Oh my God! There's no guarantee he did not. So before you say that,
good point. Good point. All right, good point. I retract my statement. Who knows what he was doing in them fucking territories, or them '90s territories? There might be
ECW.
There might be video of him somewhere like that we never knew he wrestled. Man, what if he had like a weekend in Continental for all we know?
Who knows?
Yeah. So where else were we? That's all for AEW. This motherfucker got a flamethrower. Yeah. He's gonna murder Sammy Guevara. Okay.
Big ratings week too.
Yeah. What they do in ratings?
I think it was 928. So they're trying to find a way to get back to a million.
Was that 50,000 more people than last week?
I think it's 100,000 more.
I thought they were at 880 last week or something like that. Or am I wrong?
I think it was 813.
Okay, all right, I was wrong.
I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Or 828.
Look, as long as we grow in this Wednesday fan base between both shows, eventually we will overcome one of these Raws and SmackDowns combined. Okay, so moving on to NXT, I'll go through it shortly because we really spent a lot of time on AEW. Last week's show, because we didn't even talk about NXT the week before. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, Ciampa comes out and says that, or they built the show around who's going to be Adam Cole's challenger for his title at Portland. Ciampa comes out and says, "I'm going to make sure that it's me." They cut to commercial break. They come back. You see all of Undisputed except for Adam Cole laid out outside, and all of a sudden you see someone come from behind a wall, and it's Ciampa with a lead pipe. He drops the lead pipe and walks to the center, or walks into Full Sail into the middle of the ring, grabs a table, puts the table in the ring, sets it up, props it up, and then he grabs in his pocket a yellow spray paint can, and he marks a big X on the table. All of a sudden, Adam Cole comes out and sees Undisputed laid out. He's like, "What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on?" And they say it was Ciampa. She goes walking through the stage, or walking out the Full Sail. He's like, "What the hell's your problem? What the hell's going on? Why do you do this? Whatever." So then, all of a sudden, out comes Regal. Regal says that, "I just got done talking to Adam Cole. Adam Cole's already signed his contract. It's an open contract. He doesn't care who he fights." Ciampa says, "All right, you're going to bring your ass. Here's what I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to bring your ass to this ring. you're going to sign the contract, or I'm going to sign the contract, and then I'm powerbombing your ass through this table, and then I'm signing that contract. So Cole comes down like a dumbass, hits Ciampa with the mic. Ciampa gets busted up on the top of his head. He gets in the ring and thinks he's going to start brawling with Ciampa. Ciampa cuts him off and then immediately powerbombs through the table. So you see he starts bleeding. So he grabs the contract and is about to start signing, and all of a sudden the crowd sees he's bleeding and says, I'm in this crowd. The crowd says, use the blood. Use the blood.
Wow.
Ciampa, he starts laughing, realizes he's bleeding, grabs the blood off top of his head and smacks it on the contract. Crowd pops. So flash forward to this week, and the whole story is Undisputed is looking for Ciampa all throughout Full Sail for most of the show. So they look for him backstage, can't find him. They start beating up people because they're jerks, of course. They run backstage, see somebody that's getting a haircut. They walk by the dude getting a haircut. They come back, and Roddy grabs the clippers out of the barber's hand and just runs it over that dude's head. So now that boy just scalped. And then he says, "You got a stupid haircut." So then they continue looking for Ciampa. Then they cut to another segment. They're walking by a production truck, and the door is wide open. They walk by, they see nothing. Next thing you know, from behind, you just see Ciampa walk behind the doors as they pass. He starts fighting all four of them, but he has a jump on them. So he gets to jump on the three of them, not Cole. And then Cole and him brawl into the Full Sail ring. Then all of a sudden, the rest Undisputed, not the ring, they go to the ringside area, or the announce table area. He's about to powerbomb him through the table again. Another table. Undisputed numbers come in, it's 4-on-1. Then all of a sudden, Dunn and Riddle come out. They make the save, and then Regal comes out and says, "We're not doing this shit. 3-on-3 match later in the show." They end up being the main event. They ended up having a really, really good match. It was based around thinking that, there's a really good match. Ciampa's been getting hurt in the middle of the match, and he starts limping. And you're like, no, he just blew out his fucking knee again. Turned out it was his ankle that he blew out. So, or not blow out, but he sprained his ankle mid-match. But you were just like, no, not again. Because remember, he wrestled through that Chicago pay-per-view, the last half of it with a torn ACL. So you're just like, he can wrestle through virtually anything. But you're just like, oh no, they're finna, But he's okay, relatively speaking, for a wrestler with a ticking time bomb for a neck. But they wrestle, have a good match, and then all of a sudden, Roddy comes in for the DQ. They have the man advantage, of course. Then all of a sudden, the week before, there was a vignette saying 2-5-20. And it was like the 2 was in a circle, the 5 was in a circle, and the 20 was in a circle. But, people were thinking I don't know what this is. I didn't know what this was. People were, I think Caleb was saying to me, it's probably Dream. I was like, because the 3 circles, maybe. All of a sudden, lights go out, vignette comes up. The 3 circles come together and converge into the third eye thing, and you're like, oh, it's Velveteen. Next thing you know, a spotlight comes out on one of the turnbuckles. He's on top of the fucking turnbuckle. Double axe handle. Then he basically whoops all of Undisputed by himself 4-on-1. It was like one large man versus 4 little dudes, and it doesn't make sense, but it does because they little.
Yeah.
And then they basically clear the ring with everybody but Roddy. He whoops Roddy's ass some. He rips off his pants, and his pants have Marina, Roddy, and Roddy's jit on his pants, and it says on the back, it says, "Call me up, Marina."
See,
that's how it went black.
That boy disrespectful.
Hey,
yeah,
put him on the shelf for months. Look, yeah. They put hard times in this country, and they put Velveteen Dream on the shelf.
So that was one of 2 things that got to me on Twitter off of this. The other was Kushida being literally thrown in the trash.
Yeah. So, this is one of the segments when they were looking for Ciampa, and they see Kushida backstage, and they were like, "Where is Ciampa?" Didn't answer him because he doesn't speak that good English, I guess. I don't know, or he don't fuck with them off the energy because they're assholes. So Cole pushes Kushida. Kushida immediately pushes him back, they jump him, and then they throw him through a table that apparently was on top of a trash can. So so he goes through the table, trash can setup, and then Bronson Reed's there, and they're like, yo, we don't have a problem, big fella, and he's making a mean face, like he almost like the remember the Mick Foley Ryback CM Punk shot. It was like that, like they just whooped this dude, but they shook the person that's on the camera on the other side. So all of a sudden, like, they're like, we don't want no problems. All of a sudden, Roddy comes through with that jumping knee and just BOW! And they laid his ass out too. It was incredible. Like, Roddy's the best. He just came through like, nah, bro, we don't want no problem. BOW! Awesome. So
all Japanese wrestlers beware.
Yeah, there's also that.
They will throw your dumb ass in the trash. Remember when Kushida showed up with his entrance and doing this long ass shit? Oh, that shit's over now. It's a wrap.
And the only thing that man did was get hurt while having a 4.25 star match. That's the only thing he did was you got hurt while having one of the best matches of the year in this company. Go figure. So, do you ever see that Walter match? Oh, that match was so goddamn good. Yeah, so other stuff that's on that. There was also a Gargano and Finn Balor interview when they did the face-to-face thing. It was basically like this via satellite deal. And they're basically arguing back and forth. And then Johnny is just basically, Balor is basically saying like, look, man, I came back. You're the faces of what NXT has turned into since I left, and I despise what it's turned into. Y'all are all soft geeks, and I'm gonna make an example out of all of y'all. So he says, So then Johnny's like, I'm sorry, am I talking to a new improved Finn Balor? Am I speaking to main roster Finn Balor? Because if I'm speaking to main roster Finn Balor, then his ass is done before he even starts. Because if you out here, if you bring out the dude that's out here losing to Bobby Lashley 17 weeks in a row, then you done by the time you even set foot in Portland. So then you see like
Johnny
Finn
Gargano
Balor
talking about how many times somebody lost on a row. That is mighty rich.
So the thing is about how Balor sells this is like you can see him blow his stack. You can see him get furious when he said this. And it's like, oh, so Finn Balor emotes on NXT. On the main roster, he does not emote. He just smiles. And
well,
he has a smile.
Well, he has the jacket, kind of like Tamina, emote through the jacket.
Yeah, so basically Balor was like, it took you you haven't even been cleared yet, and that's because of me. So imagine what happens when I get my hands on you for real. Like that, that's the stuff he was saying, but I'm gonna fuck you up. So like I thought that was really good. You also have Charlotte making her return to Full Sail to answer whether or not she's going to accept Rhea's challenge for Rhea's belt that Rhea offered to the Royal Rumble winner. Whatever.
Sounds like some more convoluted Charlotte nonsense that happens every WrestleMania season when she ain't really over like that.
Yeah, go figure. But
promises were made, James. Promises were made.
Yeah.
So,
I just thought of that stupid Demi Lovato song, whatever group that was. Promise me no promises. Whatever. They say the whole show, like half the show, or probably, I think she probably came out around like maybe, I don't know, like 9, somewhere after 9 she showed up. But they were like, she's en route to Full Sail. She's en route to Full Sail, right? And then like all of a sudden,
trying to milk it.
Yes, you're right.
Y'all milking this shit, bro.
All of a sudden, Bianca comes out to Full Sail. And as it's time for her as she's walking out, they go to commercial break and come back, and then you see Charlotte pulling up with a chauffeur, which is like, if she's en route, then how come she's not in whatever like rental sheet? Oh, never mind. So she had to rent with out her own fucking pocket to get to Full Sail. Anyway, they do that. Bianca starts talking. Charlotte interrupts with her music, comes in, and they basically have a standoff, and they talk, and they trade barbs. Then all of a sudden, but it didn't last long because Rhea cuts her off too, where her music comes out. And then you have side by side, on the left side you have Charlotte, on the right side you have Rhea, in the middle you have Bianca. And Bianca says, like, steps in front to symbolically mean, like, don't even think about her before you get to me, because you ain't getting past me, motherfucker. So as she's facing up with Rhea, Charlotte wraps her hand around Bianca's face and kind of shoos her away. And I'm going to use a quote-unquote SAT word. Bianca was apoplectic. She could not fucking believe that this bitch had the audacity to put her hand in her airspace.
Stay over there and fix your brain.
Oh my god, that was the part that she's like, that's the part where she's like, I can't believe this. And then it was Rhea and Charlotte talked for a little bit, and then Bianca got her bearings. Like, she thought of all the ways she was going to cuss Charlotte out and compose herself to figure out how to form all the cuss words into a complete, thought. And then she cut her off and said, how dare you? And then Charlotte said that line about go fix your braid. The crowd popped because they knew they were, you don't want to talk about a black woman's hair? Ooh. Ooh, you finna get your ass stomped out, or there might be some fisticuffs. So all of a sudden, Rhea was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! You do not come here and disrespect us at our place. We don't come to your place and fuck with you. And you used to work here. There was always a saying. So then you see her make eye contact with Bianca. It's like, we are NXT. And then when she said that shit, in my mind, I literally yelled, or not in my mind, I literally yelled out, let's jump her! They jumped her ass and stomped the shit out of her, and then they both picked her up and let the double electric chair and dropped her on her face. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Charlotte's so good at taking a beating. I don't know why she is, but she really is. Like, remember last year or 2 years ago, all them beats that she took from Becky? She's really good at taking a beating. I don't know why, but she really is.
They should just have her get whooped forever. Like, at this point, like, what you got to lose?
It was great. So, earlier in the show, I think the first match, you had Dijak versus Killian Dane. Basically, what they've done is, so Dijak was in men's War Games. They won. So I believe he's won every match he's been in since then. But more specifically, like, he won on the Christmas Day show against Bronson Reed. He beat Damian Priest last week. And he beat Killian Dane right here. So he's won 3 in a row. So he's number one contender for North American title. So after he beats Killian Dane in a match that was okay.
Of course it was.
Yes, Killian Dane. They go out there, or Keith Lee comes out, meets him up on the ramp, and says, "Congratulations!" Off mic. There's no mic. It's just we can hear him because the camera mic is that close. He says, "Congratulations! You earned your North American title shot. I'll see you at Portland." And they shake hands. So
we gonna finally see who wins.
Yes.
Or are they gonna like?
So this. Let me see. This would be. They're 1-1. They're 1-1 and 2. They're 1-1 and 2.
So I'd like them to do something like, I know they have their match that they do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like them to shock us and like, what if they give us like a strong style match and just beat the shit out of each other? Like,
well, I mean, the thing for me is like their first match had plenty of them like chopping the shit each other and striking the shit at each other. It's just you get lost in the at the end when they start hitting, high spots. Like, I get what you're saying, like, incorporate more of that into your match. I get what you're saying, yeah. I mean, yeah, they're out here doing fucking, second rope reverse runners. I think they can chop each other. So yeah, I think that can happen too. They're gonna, or at least we think anyway, like, they're gonna want them to do more than just all the high spots in the world. So I think that would fill that out nicely. Yeah, that would be a good addition to their match. So Garza and Swerve had a really good match. It was short, but it was really good. It was based around his pants, but aside from the goofiness of that, they were having really good match. Like if they got that goofiness shit out there, like they go out there and tear the house down.
We need Angel Garza and Tai Chi to link up.
Oh my god. Mercedes, go ahead.
Pants rippers.
Pants rippers. You stupid. Okay, so Mercedes and Casey had a Mercedes Martinez and Casey Catanzaro had a match. And it was basically this bigger veteran just pounds this small gymnast. Or gymnast. And
that's
then,
funny.
like,
but if can you think of a more perfect person for Casey Catanzaro to wrestle than Mercedes Martinez? Like for her level of experience and
good point. But one thing in particular I want to bring up because this was a thing of beauty. She's throwing her around. Mercedes is throwing her around at one point, and then she goes for a pop-up power bomb. So she pops her up, and she goes to power bomb her. And Casey turns it into a West Coast pop. I almost decided to jump out of my seat. This shit was awesome. It was a thing of beauty. It was for a near fall. After that, Mercedes basically gets her outside to the floor and just basically throws her from barricade to ringside apron, back and forth, gets her back in the ring, and it hits her fisherman suplex for the win. Short, simple match. Made her look like a tough veteran that knows what the fuck she's doing. Made Casey look like just a lovable babyface underdog. Storytelling, and the right person won. So that's pretty much all we have for I have on NXT from this week. So you brought up Tainara wants out, right?
Yeah, I think she like either walked out of NXT or some type of report, some type of financial dispute or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She got on TV a couple times, but I mean, it's fucking crowded there. So like,
she's on TV like once a month,
and she probably is looking like I can probably make more money outside of wrestling than I can like inside of wrestling, doing what I'm doing. And she's a PCer, so she probably wasn't on some type of big contract or anything. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have like an outside name, so she could probably go like the IG fitness route, like something, and being like an influencer and get checks off of that. So
yeah,
that's my guess.
Yeah. One thing I want to bring up on
has the look.
Oh, definitely has the look. So I remember. Oh, this is a topic I want to bring up. So the takeover card for Portland projected anyway, from top to bottom. If I can, off the top of my head, I think it's 7 matches. So I'm going fingers out. So NXT title match, Gargano versus Ciampa. I'm sorry, Cole versus Ciampa. Sorry. Grudge match, Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. Women's match, Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. North American title match, Keith Lee versus Dijak. Tag match, Dunn and Riddle versus Undisputed Era. Velveteen Dream in a return grudge match versus Roddy Strong. And Tegan Knox versus Dakota Kai. That's 7 matches. Are they putting too many matches on on takeover card? Like, these are projected. We pretty much know that like at least 5, or we know they're going at least 6 deep. But there is a 7th match now that they have Velveteen in Roddy.
Yeah,
it's 17.
They don't have they don't have the taped element, like to where to tape it to show it before. I mean, I don't think it's too many. Like, unless you want the main event to like go 30 minutes or 35 minutes.
We do not need that.
But what promotion is this? That's what they do. This is who they are. Like, they always have 30-minute main events. So they just got to find some time somewhere. Like, I think there's a way to do it. Someone got to get cut somewhere.
Yeah, you would think so. Okay, so
look, you think Shawn Michaels is about to tell them, yeah, go short. the promotion of Triple H, no problem going long out here.
You have a point. Points were made. It's just, I just don't want Takeover to go into a 4-hour thing. Like, if you want to go 3 hours, you got more than enough talent to go 3 hours, so that's fine. But like, don't go past that. Like, the sweet spot is always at 2.5. So we'll see. Like, maybe it really is 3 hours, and one of these matches is a pre-show match. Maybe we'll see. Yeah. So you had thoughts on New Beginning. I did not watch New Beginning, but like, there was nothing that was particularly so sacred that like I had to not hear this. So like, what are your thoughts?
Okay, I'm going to start with the things that I liked, because I don't want to lead. I'm a lead with love, as they say. So, Dragon Lee and Hiromu Takahashi, motherfucking banger.
Okay.
These guys opened the match with this crazy immediately run at each other sequence where they just hit a bunch of moves, and then all of a sudden they're both laid out. Like, and then they get back up, and then they start exchanging chops. I swear to God, each of them hit like 85 chops on the other. I'm not exaggerating the number at all. They're chopping for minutes upon minutes upon minutes at a time, and then like, you would think they're done, and then it leads to another chop, and then another chop, and another chop, and it's just like crazy. And then like, that's like the big strong style part. Then they do like all the craziness, like high risk stuff that Dragon Lee does, and then it turns into Hiromu trying to put him away, and this was fucking excellent. I went 4.75 on it. And it was just like, yeah, man, this is a legendary wrestling rivalry. Like,
yep.
In multiple countries, this is like, I loved this match. I was popping left and right. They teased doing the Phoenix Plex that broke Hiromu's neck like several times in the match. It was like, it was just like a very special match. Definitely put that in my spreadsheet. Jon Moxley and Minoru Suzuki, loved it. I think they fought outside the ring a lot. They were doing like a lot of like chair shots, and some of the stuff like they were doing a lot of tricks, but when it came to it, they were in there to fight each other, and they fought each other, clubbing each other with forearms, and like lots of really good wrestling in there too. I went 4.5 on that one, and I didn't, Suzuki, I don't want to say he's limited sometimes in what he can do, but what you're going to get with Suzuki. So I think this was like the best of Suzuki and Moxley, and these guys clearly like have lots of respect for each other, and wanted to both do this match a lot. So just the presentation of it was dope. Moxley came out and the crowd, and then walked up the ramp after, and then he told Suzuki to come meet him. Suzuki like grabs 2 chairs and walks up, and he's fucking smiling and laughing like, hell yeah, let's go, let's run out, I'm a fucking psycho. And he hands Moxley the chair, and then they begin the match by swinging chairs at each other. It was just fucking great.
Okay, so I can't remember which Sapporo show it was, but during one of the tags, both tags, they basically just spend almost like 80% of the match like fighting each other outside the ring, and like, you're almost like, fuck, this match is happening inside the ring, I want to see them try to kill each other. So there was a point during one of these tags where they were literally way away from like the ringside area, like they're out by like the text stuff, and they're basically doing jousting in like was it fencing with like the plastic barricades. And like, they were like basically trying to stab each other with plastic barricades, Rich. Like, they're fucking insane. Like,
yeah, I think they did a little bit of that.
Okay, I can't wait to watch that match. I can't wait to watch it.
But the main event, Tetsuya Naito.
Do you want to do Jay White and Sonata first?
I mean, Jay White and Sonata was just kind of there. Like, it was like, it was worked okay. They messed a couple things up. But, of course, they had a lot of fucking Gato fuckery and Jay White shenanigans and 3 1/4. Like, I don't... like, just like... But the thing is, you know why it didn't bother me as much, James? Because it's not in the semi-main event or main event. It was fourth from the top. So I can deal with it then. So when JY fucks off and does all that, it's lower on the card where it's supposed to be. So I could deal with it there. But we got Kenta versus Tetsuya Naito, who I had to, I had to listen to how much of a success this was, that they sold out Osaka Joe Hall, and this is just such proof of this is going to be awesome, and this is great. And then the match happened, and it was fucking nothing. It was Kenta doing nothing but kicking this man for 30 minutes. It was Kenta not starting the match like when the bell rings, nothing but stalling. Literally a 5-minute call happened before these two ever touched each other. It was
you serious?
Yes, it was ridiculous. It was just rolling in and out the ring, doing nothing. Naito not being really impressive at all either. He's not a good enough wrestler to be occupying both belts. Both belts are tied up. And we're having 35-minute matches that some people are giving 3.5 stars to. Like, this is not the IWGP Championship. This is not Kazuchika Okada. This is not Kenny Omega. This is not Hiroshi Tanahashi. This is the new reality. This is the guy that they all wanted to win and just went so crazy. New Japan just couldn't move forward until this guy just got his fucking coronation, and everyone just needed this so bad. And then what do we have now? We have these dusty ass matches to account for it. And what's going to happen is he's going to keep moving forward, and he's going to keep underwhelming like normal. He's going to be who he has been, who I've been trying to tell you who he is for months now on this show. And then you guys are going to have to ask yourselves some really hard questions if you're out here rooting for Tetsuya Naito and capping like this. Like, Kenta, don't ever want to see him near a main event for the belt again. If this is how you're going to wrestle, I'm straight. Like,
don't you think that's
take
weird?
That shit on.
Well, don't you think that's weird? Because, like, in the G1, he was in main events, and his main events were good as fuck.
I don't know what it is. They went 35 minutes, and it was just like, okay. They got some fortunate juice too here, which helped them out a little bit.
Juiced, and they had fortunate juice, and they still couldn't get to 4.
I wouldn't have given it 4 stars. Oof. No, Josh gave it 3.5.
Oof.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's going to go into it more on Keepin It Strong Style, what he didn't like. But I was watching it and just like, I was like, well, this what they want. And then, the Naito stands they're gonna try to tell you it was great, but it's a trap. Don't listen. Watch the match for yourself or not, because it is a 35-minute commitment to something not that great. So, double champion, both belts tied up in this guy. I can't wait for Tanahashi to beat him.
I don't think Tanahashi's gonna beat him, but.
Well, figure something out. Shit, hit him with the Rainmaker. I don't give a fuck what you do. Like, give Hiromu the belt. They're having the match next month. Like, you have Hiromu beat him and take the belts off of him. He's not gonna do nothing but go ahead and out wrestle that man anyway. So Tetsuya Naito gets to be the latest guy to out wrestle Naito and lose to him. So this is gonna be real all. Join the club, Naito, the Kota Ibushi club, the Kazuchika Okada club.
And meanwhile,
yikes.
In Sapporo, you have Okada having like 4.25, 4.5 star match with Taichi. Things that make you go, All right. I think that's it for New Japan, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be John Moxley's next challenger.
Oh,
he choked him out after the match.
I ain't like how you beat up, leader of the clique. So I'm gonna go fight him.
Yeah, should be pretty interesting because they pushed it as like the British champion confronting the United States champion, choked him out after the match, and Saber's like earned like another kind of upward run because he did a lot of jobs towards the end of last year, and he's been quietly putting momentum together.
Okay. I mean, it also helps that he beat Sabre, not Sabre, but beat Ospreay in Sapporo.
Yep.
Yeah. They have a rematch in England soon, don't they?
Yes.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think Zack Sabre keeps the belt.
Okay. All right. Anything else going forward as far as like next, like what's on the horizon in New Japan?
So anniversary shows up next. So Naito versus Hiromu.
Yep.
I think Jay White got a win, so I don't know where he's headed. Like they pushed it as momentum going into New Japan Cup. Looks like Tanahashi and Ibushi are gunning for God, the tag belts. So
did Ibushi show up on the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he looks to be healed from illness he had. Manabu Nakanishi, he's winding his career down. Boy. And not a second too soon, because it's time. It's time to go, player. Like, when Luke Gallows looks at you and starts to feel spry, boy.
Yeah, it's about that time. All right. Only thing left is Stardom now.
Oh, so I guess what we got to do? Hit the music.
Okay, so the February 8th, Korakuen Hall. All of the matches are up in one weekend. It's amazing. I'd have to wait till Thursday to get it.
Look awesome. At that. Yes. Look at that.
Bushiroad coming through. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, bro.
Gave me less days to send James fake spoilers.
Oh, my God. All on to mask the fact that you sent me real ones and fucked it up. Like, okay, so I'm just gonna run through the undercard stuff real quick. Isuki Hoshino got her first victory over Leo Onozaki. For me, this was really cool because they did a 15-minute documentary on their Stardom account about her back then, or back when she re-debuted. Like, she was someone that was training with Big Saya at the time. Big Saya debuted months before she did, and like you can see, she didn't pass her protest, but Big Saya did, and you can see like while she's doing like the ring duty as Big Saya like makes her debut, like how sad she is. Like she's like, it's bittersweet. Like she's happy for her friend, but she didn't get it. She didn't pass it. And like months later, she passes. And she has a singles match, her first match against Jungle, and you see her backstage. She's a nervous wreck. She's crying in tears. She has the match with Jungle. Jungle clotheslines her fucking head off, and and then
welcome to the business.
And then like it's crying because she's so happy she got her first match on her belt. And then like Jungle like souls or whatever else, and you're just like, you for me watching it was like. This is what makes people like draw to other people, like to see like the stuff they go through. Like they're actual humans and they have dreams and they aspire for them. You see them like ache for certain things, so wait, it's like you get behind them. So she debuted in I think October, November-ish. She got her first singles match, so I was really happy for her. Or she won her first singles match. I'm really happy for her. After that, they had a 5 tag team gauntlet match. It was match started with Kid and Tam versus the Hannon twins. They get the heat on Tam really quick. Then Tam overpowers those preteens, and then they tagging Starlight Kid overpowers the preteens.
Tam Nakano literally fighting kids out here.
Yeah,
grown woman fighting
yes.
Teenagers.
Yes, 12-year-olds who are taller than her. So then Starlight ends up hitting the twisting frog splash for the win. Then Saya on Saya, they're a team. Lil Saya has new gear. She looks like a shiny Seattle Supersonic. Like bro, her next gear may as well be a sequin Gary Payton jersey. So
damn.
One thing, they keep adding. You know that they're pushing Big Saya for success because obviously she's clearly a young girl, but they have her doing like flashy stuff. Like, so they added to the repertoire now. They have her doing that standing back tuck Pele kick thing that Ibushi does. They have her doing that now. So Saya ends up winning with a running shooting star press. So then out come Jamie and Zoe. Jamie just comes out and just beats the shit out of Saya. Ends up like folding her in half with a running clothesline, running lariat, and then ends up hitting her with the Ushigoroshi that like damn near takes her head off. Then out come Leia and... Have you seen Leia Hirsch? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Leia and Yama-san were...
Short.
Yep. Yeah. So then Jamie and Dust run up on them mid-entrance in the hallway. Like, all four of them brawl the way back to the ring. Zoe gets Saya in a full Nelson. Jamie goes for a lariat. Yama-san slips out. Jamie ends up hitting Zoe. Yama-san gets Jamie out the ring. Leia and Yama-san double V-trigger Dust, and then Leia hits her triangle moonsault for the win. Not one team won more than one fall. Basically, you win, you lose. You win, you lose. You win, you lose. You win. Luck of the draw. Yep. So, then you have the number one contenders match for the Artist Trios titles between Natsuko, Saki, and Natsuo Oyotai versus TCS's Big Three of Hana, Jungle, and Konami. During the pre-match promo, actually, take it back further. Kagetsu's last match in Stardom, Jungle pins Kagetsu, and then asks Mayu for a title shot, because she has never had a singles match with Mayu. Mayu says, well, I can't give you a title shot because the next Korakuen Hall is already booked with Suri, but if I retain the title, ask for another title shot. Or ask for a title shot later. So they do the pre-match promo, and like Jungle is like grabbing her head and her hair and is muttering Iwatani Mayu, Iwatani Mayu. Like she's obsessed now. So there's that. And also Hannah is like in the background, like laughing hysterically at the thought of Saki Kashima beating her. She's, like, you have no Hazuki, you have no Kagetsu, Oedo Tire, a bunch of geeks. So, get into the match, and Oedo Tai's music hits, and then the next thing you know, it breaks down into something else. And the best way I can explain it is, imagine if late 2000s Polo to Dawn remix Oedo Tai's theme. That shit is jamming. I don't know who did this beat, but that shit is jamming. Like, where did you find this? Yeah, so basically, long story short match, not really good, was actually flat out bad until they got Hana and Natsu out of there, and then they let the adults do the work, and then the match got good at the very end. Konami and Saki were in at the end. Looks like Konami's about to put her away with her submission. Gets out the way. They both get back to their feet. Catches her charging. Puts her in her revival crucifix pin and pins her. So, like, Oedo Tai got themselves a win. I guess it's to propel Saki, because she seems like she's the leader of Oedo Tai. I think she needs some help, or they need to like just let B or Jamie be the leader. But we'll see.
B's the leader. Gotta be.
I'm telling you, it don't seem like it. It don't seem like it, Rich. I would agree she should be, but it don't seem like it. Maybe that's because like it's just a language barrier. I don't know, but like even in we'll see more when they have more interactions as a team, because right now it seems like it's kind of like the two Gaijins are to themselves in tag matches and getting singles belt matches, and then like you have just them. it's like oh yeah, the natives. They just keep like without giving them much of anything.
So is the Bullet Club and the Elite.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, I think that's something they can. Well, it's only just Jamie and B. So like, if there were more, then maybe it would stick out more. But we'll see in the future. We'll see how that plays out in the months and maybe even years to come.
B use the V trigger.
Oh yes, they definitely use the V-trigger in their match. Jesus Christ. So, next match is the Artists of Stardom Trios Belts match. That's Queen's Quest, Momo, Utami, and Azumi versus Julia. I don't know if it's Shuri or Suri, or not Suri, but if it's Shuri or Suri, I don't know. And Micah. Okay, so
this was awesome.
Yeah, it was. I wrote down a bunch of notes, but I'm not going to go through all the notes. I'm just going to basically keep it really basic. They basically paired off all three of them. So it's basically Utami versus Micah, and they basically do judo, chain, and mat wrestling. Then you have Momo and Shuri, and it's basically just a kicking contest. And then
that was my favorite. That was my favorite pairing right there.
And then you have Azumi and Julia, and like Azumi is getting Julia to do high speed spots, so that's kind of cool. So Julia ends up, after you go through those three things, you end up getting Julia like getting advantage over the 17-year-old, and it breaks down to a 6-way brawl outside. They end up getting back into the ring. And then, like, there's this spot in the match where, like, Suri just takes out Mayu, Utami, and Azumi all by herself with kicks, knee lifts, backstabbers, and that Hikaru Shida big knee. Micah and Utami get back in the ring together. Micah picks the arm and takes Utami down with a left arm Fujiwara armbar. Utami rolls through. Micah transitions into a cross armbar. Utami fights to the ropes. They trade forearms. Utami uses her right forearm to throw the strikes. The good, healthy one. Until Micah ducks under and hits a rock bottom. Not a Uranage, yes. A rock bottom. Then ragdolls Utami around with 4 judo throws, and like the last one just brutal for a near fall. Micah then hits the ropes. Utami hits her own judo throw because she's been getting her ass kicked. She immediately lifts her up and slaps on her torture rack finish for to try to get the win. So as soon as that happens, Azumi and Momo fly across and clear Donna Del Mondo off the floor. That's the name of their faction. I think it's Italian for Women of the World. She ends up grabbing the left arm and turns it into like a Kimura, and then transitions to a rolling cross arm breaker. Utami still has her traps her or puts her hands together so she can't put her into submission. Micah turns it into a triangle, and then Utami just lifts her, powers up so slowly, and like it was a great looking triangle, like it was a shoot. Lifts her up so slowly and power bombs her. It was awesome. Yeah. So then basically by the end of the match, you end up getting the only two people they both crawl to their corners. Azumi and Julia. Azumi and Julia have a great exchange, better than the one I just explained. And the crowd like goes from like really wanting Azumi to win to dying to see Azumi win. Like there's a spot where Azumi ends up getting a tilt-a-whirl Fujiwara armbar. Julia fights to the ropes. Azumi turns into a disarmer, bends all the way so far back that her head touches the mat, and then like it looks excruciating, and then like Julia basically just flips her body and like puts her foot on the rope, and by the end like they basically triple team her and murder her with like a gourd buster into a double knee lift, and then she hits her tombstone pile driver and wins. It was an awesome match.
Awesome match for sure. 4 1/4.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
And it was just like, as you mentioned, like with all the pair offs, the one that I definitely want to see more of, it was like Shuri and Momo Watanabe.
Yeah,
they kicked the holy hell out of each other, and they were like offering up like the "yes sir, may I have another" type. Like yeah. I'm gonna give you the open shot, but be prepared because I'm taking my open shot next. And I thought Shuri was the star of the match.
I thought so too. I think everybody had pretty good moments, but just to continue.
Hey, you see, Azumi went to the she got an extension game going.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hit up Nikki Bella.
Yeah. I also saw that like Utami got her hair curled up too. It was like they're really trying. They're really trying. But yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
It reminded me of one of the like matches we're seeing with Kenny and Hangman on Dynamite. Like just lots of big moves and like people pairing off, and Yeah, highly recommended.
Yeah. So I just thought about this. 8 months ago at the beginning of May, right? Queen's Quest had 6 titles. They had the red belt with B. Momo had the white belt. Momo and Utami had the tag belts. Utami had the SWA belt, where like you can only defend it against people that aren't from the country you belong to or from. Utami had the Futures belt, and Utami had the Pro Wrestling Eve International belt. Now today, on February 10th, they have one belt, Utami's Future belt.
And how long she gets to have that?
She's had it for over a year.
Know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't got to, like, get rid of it. Like, there ain't a time limit on it.
I believe the rules are either you have to be under a certain age or less than 2 years of experience. So, in theory, she has another... she has until, like, August to come off that belt. Or relinquish it.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I would like her just, like, hand it to Azumi or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, so then you have the white belt match, Arisa and B. What are your thoughts on this match before I go through it? Because this... Go ahead.
Loved it. 4 stars. And I thought it was like, yes, big moves. Lots of drama, great near falls at the end. And V10, Arisa Hoshiki.
Okay.
The excellence continues.
So I'm glad that I'm not someone that's losing their mind, because I had it at like 4. Now, I'm going to read through what happened in this match. Match immediately started.
So you're gonna pick on her for not sewing. You're gonna pick on her for not sewing the leg.
Gotcha. This is the worst she's ever done on this one. Look, this is the first 5 minutes of the match. B works over Arisa's right knee for a while. Arisa jumps up and blows off the legwork with running, jumping, landing, and kicking in record time, even for her, including running on the floor to the apron, to the second rope, and triple jumping for a $13.99 kick outside on the floor. Arisa gets right back into her feet and shakes off her right knee. That's the first 4 minutes of the match.
That's her strength. People better start trying to find a new way. Find a new way. It obviously don't work.
Is pulling people out of the match by killing the suspension of disbelief. If you get your leg worked over, don't fucking run and kick immediately. She literally jumped up after getting her leg worked over and started running and kicking. Continuing on. So, B hits an incredible V-trigger that turns the match around. B hits a swinging neckbreaker / crossroads looking move that damn near dents the mat with Arisa's head. Arisa rolls out of a suplex attempt and head kicks a seated B twice. Arisa jumps to the top rope and hits another $13.99 kick and immediately makes a cover. B kicks it too, and then Arisa grabs her bad right knee. Arisa goes for an Os cutter, but B meets her on the second rope and hits a second rope German suplex. B hits a running knee to the back of the head and then slaps on an inverted figure 4 and then ankle locks the healthy left leg. They're fucking up the plot. So Arisa gets on the bottom rope. Arisa gets to the bottom rope after a lengthy battle for... I'm sorry, gotta start one more time. Arisa eventually gets the bottom rope after a lengthy battle where she screamed like bloody murder, like we didn't just watch her no-sell earlier methodical knee work for 99% of the match, or that B doesn't even have the hold on the right fucking leg. Anyway, Arisa goes for a triangle missile drop kick off the top rope. Arisa sprints, jumps to the second rope, grabs B, and gives her a face buster on the mat. Arisa stops wrestling and smiles at the crowd, then gives B a Kamigoye with the bad right knee. For some context, B turned on Queen's Quest to leave to Oedo by giving Momo a Kamigoye at the last Korakuen Hall show. Mm-hmm. Also for context, Arisa's in Stars. So Arisa goes for a running V-trigger. B dodges and hits her own for a double down. They trade forearms so they're both up on their feet. B super kicks Arisa's healthy left knee out from underneath her and then super kicks her in the face. B hits a bridging suplex for 2. B V triggers Arisa's head into the ring corner padding. B lifts up Arisa to the second ropes for a Japanese Ocean Cyclone suplex. Arisa fights. B ends up hitting her with a cheeky Nando's and then gets her in position for the Japanese Ocean Cyclone suplex. Arisa turns into a victory roll that nobody buys as a finish.
I popped.
I'm glad you popped, but the crowd didn't. B blocks a head kick and then hits a V-trigger. B goes for a Kamagoye. Arisa trap blocks it, which I thought was really cool, and then turns it to a V-trigger. B fires up. Arisa V-triggers a fire right out of her for a knee fall. She hits an ugly-looking Os cutter. She hits a Brazilian kick, and then hits a final V-trigger for the win, 3.75 to 4. I don't know why she keeps doing this dumb shit at the beginning of her matches. Like, just don't do the dumb shit. Even though it looks like dumb shit and it pulls you out of the match, why? And you know what you're going to do at the end of your match is going to be a bunch of running and jumping because you have a gigantic glaring hole in your game when it comes to not being able to grapple. Then why even let someone say, why even have a match layout of, I'm going to get my leg worked over at any point? Don't do it. Just don't do the shit. It's so fucking annoying to me. And like the match started and like it looked like Arisa was about to get, or that B was going to work over her back, and I was like, okay, tell that story. You can run with a bad back. You can't run with a fucking shot knee. And all her matches is, oh, I have a shot knee. It's like, stop. Why hasn't someone told you to stop doing this? This is worse than Seth Rollins. A lot worse than Seth Rollins.
No, Seth Rollins is selling leg injuries from years ago. This is just someone kicking your knee during a match.
This was not getting her knee kicked. She put her in a knee crank. She put her in a reverse figure four. She did all the Bret Hart, Ric Flair knee work over, knee crank, dropping onto your knee throughout the whole first 5 minutes of the match. And then she just got up immediately and started running and jumping and kicking.
Yeah,
it's nonsense. Don't do it.
Doesn't bother me.
I'm glad it doesn't bother you. You and get to enjoy these matches while I'm sitting there like, this shit's so fucking fake looking. All right, the red belt match. This match was fucking incredible. Okay. Context. Mayu's now in the Puroresu Illuminati with Liger and Muda and Jun Akiyama and Chigusa Nagayo. Chigusa Nagayo was the former head of Gaia. Gaia was basically like the big thing that kind of took over after All Japan Women's went bankrupt in 97. She I'm trying to think, was she a Crush gal? I think she was a Crush gal. Can't remember. Anyway, she started up Gaia. She wanted to retire in 2005, and then she kind of got the bug again, so a few years ago she started up another promotion called Marvelous. Marvelous's ace is a woman named Takumi Iroha. Takumi Iroha is fucking incredible. Anyway, you end up getting, during this Japanese Wrestling Illuminati meeting, Chigusa is hanging out with Mayu, now that Mayu's now part of La Familia, La Cosa Nostra, or whatever. And they hang out at this thing, and then next thing you know, you see that Chigusa is at the Stardom Dojo for some reason, and
Mayu like, trying to outsource. You know, she's scared, as Zach would say.
Yeah, real scared. So she ends up. Chigusa ends up teaching Mayu how to do her running 3 power bomb. It's just a simple running power bomb. Like during the last Kagetsu match at Stardom, she gave Jungle a running Razor's Edge. So I'm assuming it's like, hey man, it's really hard to give someone a fucking Razor's Edge. I'm a scrawny person. Like I need to figure out how to like do this without like, you know, hurting myself or embarrassing myself even worse. So brought her in, taught her, or whatever else. And then next thing you know, you hear that like Sarie's dropped out because she has enteritis. Get well soon. Hope you feel better. We'll see.
Sure she does.
We'll see. You know, there's some talk about maybe possibly Triple H said don't do it, or not Triple H, but WWE told her not to do it or whatever else. Because that's one of those things where it's like NXT Japan, or eventually she's going to end up in WWE some form or fashion. We'll see. But in the meantime, as a last minute replacement,
it's funny. So it's funny how, if that was the case, it's funny how they don't want them losing certain matches.
So in the meantime, or in the room, because it was they had a main event in packed house. They decide because Chigusa Nagaya, you have one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. How about she used to be in Stardom, and she's friends with Mayu, or very friendly over the years. Remember that time when you had your first Korakuen Hall show and we let Mayu wrestle Takumi? How about you pay us back that favor now? So Takumi comes in, non-title match, and pre-match promo is that Takumi's like, it took me years for Chigusa to teach me the running 3 powerbomb. And, like, she taught Mayu that move in, like, a couple days after knowing her. Interesting. So, they come out, and Mayu has tape on her bad shoulder from the partial rotator cuff tear. And, like, the whole match is, like, Takumi just overwhelms her with just lightning strikes, kicking like she's fucking Kota Ibushi. And just beats the shit out of Mayu. And Mayu basically probably gets 30% of the match. And, in between time, she's avoiding getting pinned and staying alive by, hitting huge, big counters for near falls, like crucifix power bombs, or turning running power bombs into, like, Hurricane Ranas, or West Coast Pops, or, stuff like that. But most of the match is just Takumi just working over her shoulder and kicking the shit out of her. And there's also a spot where the German suplex where, like, look, I've seen Mayu's neck at all certain types of weird, funky angles. I've never seen. I thought she was actually hurt. That's how bad her neck was put in position. Like, it's one thing. It's really weird to see Gumby stretch further than Gumby can go. That's the best way I can explain it. At the end of the match, Takumi ends up hitting her with a power bomb, lifts her up like how Matt Riddle lifts up people after a power bomb, and before she hits that knee, but instead of hitting that knee, she picks her up and hits her with a Liger bomb and pins her 1, 2, 3, just destroys Mayu, whoops her ass left and right in this non-title match. Mayu says, look, you just, you more or less just kicked my ass, like, you deserve a title shot. Please challenge me for the title shot. I got to prove myself. So to me, it's like, it's a 1-1. But after this happens, Oedo Tai comes in, and it's only native Oedo Tai. It's just basically the people that were in the tag match, the trios tag match earlier. So it's Saki and
the Oedo Tai B team.
Yeah. yes. Yes, exactly. So Saki comes out. Saki says, "Hey, I'm still very, very interested in you." And then Mayu says, "I'm not interested in you at all." And she says, "I want to sing. I want to sing."
Sounds like something Prince would say in Purple Rain or something.
It was like the most dickish thing ever. It was like, yeah, I turned to you and left you for another faction, and now aren't you mad about it? And Mayu's like, nope, I don't beef down. I don't beef down. So she says, Saki Kashima, I'm not interested. So they go to jump Mayu. Takumi basically clears the ring with Oedo Tai. Mayu gets on the mic and says, "Damn, Takumi, you're so damn cool." And then and then she says, "Look, it's been 6 years since you've been in Stardom. Do you want to close the show?" They close the show, or she closed the show with stars. There's speculation and talk on Twitter that, like, this year they're going to do some swapping work between Stardom and Marvelous or whatever else. And you see what they're doing with Donna Del Mondo, Julia's faction, where it's like basically it's kind of like it's her and the freelancers between Micah and Siri. like maybe that's their faction is like the outsource the freelancers that try to help for these big shows, come in for these big shows. You have Marvelous coming in. Takumi's fucking awesome. One thing I wanted to mention during this match, as she's working on for her shoulder, Mayu goes for one running power bomb, and she can't do it because one, Takumi's bigger than her, and two, her shoulder's just jacked. She can't do it. And then like there's also a spot where she's getting her ass kicked, and she goes for a scorpion deathlock. Can't do it because the shoulder's too jacked. She doesn't have the strength. Like, this match is fucking awesome. Anyway, like I think they're gonna be doing matches with like some Stardom or some Marvelous talent, and maybe some Stardom talent goes to Marvelous. Who knows? But that could be really cool because Takumi's awesome. And like that match I gave that shit 4 3/4. So like I think a title match makes it even hotter. Eventually, there's going to be we assume there's going to be another Suri match, or there's going to be a Suri match. And then you also have Jungle, who's out here muttering Mayu's name. So it's like, you have all these people. They all want the title. That's awesome.
Yeah. Mayu got to practice her no-selling. Power through. Move the game forward.
Move the game forward. Okay, that's it of the show. Be sure to rate us on whatever app you're using. Listen to this. Tell the people about the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
Lay a donation down if you want to.
Yeah.
Go to the Red Circle page. We appreciate our donators so far, and hope to see more of y'all. So, I'm sure Keepin It Strong Style should be very interesting this week. Maybe make an appearance on there. I'm not sure.
You doing the run in, huh?
Yeah, I may do a run in.
You want to blow up their whole shit, huh?
We gonna talk about it.
We are not hiding from these real facts.
Yes, we are not hiding from Tessie Unite. So,
an inconvenient truth.
Yes.
So. Yeah.
Speaking of the truth, there was some Tell the Truth action going on this weekend in the XFL.
Oh, really?
I did not watch it, but it came across my Twitter timeline. There was some Tell the Truth action out there.
Oh man. Well,
head busters.
Terrible. So be sure to check out our friends at PowerSlam.tv, the independent sponsor of this show. If you're a fan of independent pro wrestling, they have over 5,000 hours of footage from all over the world. You can use the code Social Suplex to get your free month's trial. Don't forget to visit ProWrestlingTees.com/SocialSuplex. Pick up some official Social Suplex Podcast Network merchandise. Also be sure to check out the other shows on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. On Sundays, we have this show, One Nation Radio. On Tuesdays, we have Keepin It Strong Style. On Wednesdays, we have the Ricky Clive Wrestling Podcast. Every other Wednesday, we have Roman Watching Shit. On Fridays, we have In the Ring. And on Saturdays, we have All Things Elite. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
Later.